no thanks. Music to the ears of Brighton fans this afternoon as their boss dismisses talk of Manchester United. Fabian Hürzeler joined Jim White earlier today and was asked if he'd be up for switching the South Coast for Carrington.
Honoured to be part of the rumours, but I really respect the coach room. I'm really there, so I think it's not the right thing to talk about this. Overall, I can say that it's a privilege to work for Brighton. I'm very happy to be the coach here.
Watch that chat back in full on talkSPORT's YouTube channel. Good news for Arsenal fans as well. Their star defender is staying put. William Saliba's officially put pen to paper on a new contract. talkSPORT's Alex Crook breaks it down for us.
So he's there now until 2030. We know that some big clubs in Europe, including Real Madrid, have shown interest. So I think this is a real signal of intent from Arsenal. I understand the pay packet is 250 grand a week or thereabouts.
Crookie also reckons next on the list for them is Bukayo Saka. Now, if you are ever in any doubt about England's chances of winning a major trophy, well, even the Welsh think it's a foregone conclusion.
Now, this is a team, and they go to tournaments, they're looking to win it. And I believe that it's a matter of time. I thought it would have happened before now, but it's still a matter of time. England
host Wales during the international break. Hear it live on talkSPORT. Meanwhile, Steve Clarke has recalled Craig Gordon for Scotland, despite the keeper not playing yet this season. Anthony Ralston and Kieran Tierney have also been included in the squad. Now, Sheffield Wednesday players are said to be discussing whether they should refuse to train this week. They've been told they won't be paid on time this month after delays throughout 2025. All's being well, the Owls Championship meeting with commentary is live Saturday lunchtime, commentary over on talkSPORT 2. And he missed out on a place in the Ashes squad, but 21-year-old Rayan Ahmed's been named captain of the Lions. They'll tour Australia this winter. Alongside the senior squad, there's more Ashes build-up on talkSPORT's cricket YouTube channel.
Hello, a very good evening and welcome to talkSPORT Goals this Tuesday, September the 30th. It's a Champions League night. 3 English sides in action this evening, and talkSPORT Goals are taking you through all of the action. The build-up to watching the games live will keep you across all of the action, focusing mainly, of course, on the 3 English sides in action, but will be across all of the other games in the Champions League and also as well in the Championship this evening. 8 games as well. So talkSPORT Goals guiding you through a busy night of action. Our attention, though, is on Spurs, Liverpool and Chelsea. Spurs this evening at Bodo Glimt. Spurs winning their first game against Villarreal. Liverpool away at Galatasary. Liverpool also winning their first game of this Champions League campaign. That last-minute goal against Atletico Madrid. And Chelsea home to Benfica this evening. The return to England to Stamford Bridge of Jose Mourinho as Benfica manager Chelsea lost their first game away at Bayern Munich. I'm your host, Sam Ellard. We're with William Hill, waiting plus gambleaware.org. We've got all 3 English sides represented in the studio this evening. To my right-hand side, Ryan Bromelo, Kwaku Ofari, of course, representing Chelsea, and the talkSPORT Goals debut for Jess Izzat. How are you guys? Everyone doing good?
All good, mate. How are you?
Oh, that was a lack of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
No,
to start off talkSPORT. I mean, that was pathetic, wasn't it?
I mean, all 3 of our teams had pretty bad weekends, so you can understand, right?
Spurs got a point against Wolves, last-minute goal. You know,
celebrated a point.
Yeah,
João Palhinha did. I mean, goodness me. We have to start though with the most important part of the evening. Are you okay with the temperature, Jess? I just need to make sure because I know you've been a bit stressed out about, you know, coldness on different floors here in the News UK building. Are we okay?
Full tracksuit. I've got my scarf next door. I've also got my Spurs bomber just in case. But no, otherwise it's up to my liking. Thank you.
You should get the Spurs scarf in front of you there. Let's get a little bit of Spurs decor in the.
We don't need that.
Let's kind of design the Spurs the studio as Spurs. So 2 games of the Champions League are underway already. Club Brugge 1 up away at Atalanta. Real Madrid are 2 up at Kairat. Kylian Mbappe continuing his really good form. He scored both goals. So again, our attention on the English side, Galatasaray versus Liverpool. Liverpool come into this game on the back of that defeat against Crystal Palace on the weekend. Galatasaray themselves, last time out in the Champions League, 5-1 loss away at Frankfurt. Their defeat against Frankfurt was the only time they failed to win any of their 8 matches this season. The club's 7 victories, ensuring they are 6 points clear of Fenerbahce at the top in Turkey. So not doing well in the Champions League at the moment, but good domestically. Liverpool, Alisson in goal, Frimpong, Konate, Van Dijk, Kerkez the back 4, Gravenberch, Jones, Szoboszlai the midfield 3, Wirtz, Gakpo, Ekitike lead the line. So Salah and Isak both on the bench for Liverpool. As for Tottenham, they go to Bodo Glimt this evening. Bodo Glimt starting their campaign with a draw away to Slavia Prague. Tottenham beating Villarreal 1-0. This game just 4 months after the sides collided in the semi-finals of the Europa League. They're back in the Champions League, taking on each other, and Postecoglou at their helm. Spurs beating the Scandinavians 5-1 on aggregate that time. Spurs got Vicario in goal. Porro, Danzo, Van der Ven, Spence the back 4. There's no Romero, he's injured. Bergvall, Bentancur, Sarr the midfield 3. Johnson, Richarlison and Odegaard are the front 3. So there's no Mohamed Kudus in the Spurs team. And also Chelsea this evening, they entertain Benfica. Benfica starting with the defeat to Kairat that led to the sacking of Bruno Lage, and of course that then means the return of Jose Mourinho. Chelsea, we know they got injuries. It's Sanchez in goal, Gusto, Chalobah, Badiashile, Cucurella the back 4, Caicedo, Fernandes the midfield 2, Neto, Buenanote, Garnacho will support George up top. Let's now focus though on Spurs. Jess, very early stages of the Thomas Frank era. What have you made of the first few weeks of the season?
It's been a better start than, I guess, the end of the Premier League last season, so we're all happy. It feels good, except like you've already mentioned, we did have to celebrate a point to the bottom of the league at the weekend, but at least it wasn't a 3-1 loss at home like Chelsea.
What, that shots fired early, there was no need for that. Wow.
Welcome to talkSPORT Goals. I mean, this is the stuff that we live for, really.
The MO, yeah, that's what happens on this show. People just come on the show and bat at me. I'm just the poor Chelsea fan trying to fight my corner.
The poor Chelsea fan. I mean, have you heard anything?
Just being bullied in the studio week after week.
But Jess, in terms of, lots was made, wasn't it, of the kind of style of play and around the kind of gung-ho nature, it's who we are, etc., etc. In terms of kind of watching this Spurs team over the last few weeks, in terms of the way Thomas Frank's setting the team up, do you like what you see?
I think that, just going back to Big Ange, I had a huge soft spot for him, and I am a big Ange fan, but I think that had a shelf life. So I think what we're seeing now is something that we were screaming for last season, where we wanted adaptability, because you can't just have this mindset where stubbornness is good if it's working, but by the end of it, last season, it just wasn't. So I think what Frank is offering us is, firstly, changes that we like to see. Not all of them have paid off yet, but we're so early in the season that I think that's all right and forgivable. I did say that it was inexcusable to lose against the bottom of the table, like just Wolves at home. That should have been a win. That should have been in the bag. But try new things, new team, new stadium for him. I think it is a learning curve. We've got loads of new players. We've got loads of young players. And I know Paulinho celebrated hugely. I think that was relief. That was relief in the moment, and I think that just needed to get over the line. I think the fact that we didn't put it away in the first half of that game, I guess there's a lot to talk about in that changing room, but ultimately I think so far I'm liking what we see, and also the addition of Kudus, Paulinho, how Bergvall's been playing, the fact that he has everyone working together, and the fact that Romero stayed into the Frank era. I think it's looking good. I think he's got the changing room on side with immediate effect. He's got the fans on side. I think we just need the bottom of the table results to come through. We can't be losing to Wolves.
There's a penalty for Kairat in the game against Real Madrid. It's going to get tasty. Real Madrid 2-0 up. Mbappe brace, the second brace of the Champions League so far. But Kairat have got a penalty.
He's just missed a sitter though, hasn't he, Mbappe?
He has.
He really could have sealed it.
Yes.
You were purring an Mbappe touch earlier as well?
Oh, yeah. I think he's playing his best football this year. I know that Real Madrid got battered on the weekend against Atletico, but it looks like we've got the real Kylian Mbappe back. Already scored 4 Champions League goals in 2 games this season so far. But they've let Kairat back into the game, and I think the penalty will stand.
Yeah, definitely. Danny Ceballos there just catching the Kairat player. That looks like a penalty. There's still 25 minutes to go in that game. So, yeah, if that penalty goes in, possibly a nervy 25 minutes or so for Real Madrid. Penalty then for Kairat. Real Madrid, as things stand, 2-0 up in that game. In the other early game in the Champions League, Club Brugge are still 1 up away at Atalanta. Has Mohamed Kudus, Jess, been one of the real big positives so far this season for Spurs in terms of how he started?
Yeah, we didn't get on to talking about him yesterday, but I love him as a player. I think he's got real strength. I think that's what we've been missing. I think that a player like that, when defenders are coming up against him, they're not going to dive in or they're not going to make a mistake. They'd be worried going against him because he's got everything in his arsenal, being able to get around people, being able to cross it, and also the fact that he's just slotted in as pure Spurs straight away. I think he's got us all on board, to be honest.
Well, Quaker, we're going to talk with Ryan a bit about Florian Wirtz and how kind of, Liverpool try and fit him. What are you smirking for like that for already? By the way, the referee is going over and having a look at this VAR check. It looked like to me that Danny Ceballos was a little bit late onto a challenge, right? It looked like to me there was enough contact for that to be given as a penalty.
Yeah, I've just seen a replay here. I don't know.
Mate, does he maybe just at the end, does he try and put his foot away? And does the Kairat player try and initiate the contact just a little bit?
Yeah, I think I think the Kairat player looks to try and jolt his foot back.
Yeah.
Position.
Oh, the referee will give it. Oh, no penalty. There we go. Also, by the way, have you noticed that in England when there's no, it's one of those ones.
Yeah.
He's given it one of those ones, hasn't he? He's sort of gone in the air like he's given it. He sort of, he knows he's on TV. Big Champions League night. Real Madrid are playing. So no penalty. Real Madrid remain 2-0 up. Do you think Spurs, in terms of Florian Wirtz and Liverpool, Quaku, do you think Spurs have got something similar with Xavi Simons? Because at the moment when he's been playing on the left-hand side of the front three.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether his best position is just as a 10, where he's almost allowed to go anywhere and roam and kind of almost be given that free role at Spurs.
Yeah, that's a good comparison, to be fair. Obviously, he's a player that was linked with Chelsea heavily, and I was gutted that he went to Spurs. That doesn't normally happen. But I like him as a player. I've got to see him at the Euros for the Netherlands. He looked really, really good. There's some question marks around mentality and attitude, but I haven't seen that yet. And again, everything I've seen on the pitch, he looks like a solid player, but on the left-hand side, doesn't look the most comfortable. And maybe that free role that doesn't really exist in football is his best position. But really, truly, football's about accumulating talent and figuring it out afterwards. Like, Liverpool aren't going to not sign Florian Wirtz because he doesn't necessarily fit the system. You bring the player in and you figure out how to fit him into that system. And you think about Szoboszlai last season, right, for Liverpool, didn't really see where he fit. Or his first season, sorry. Last season was really good. First season, didn't really know where he fit, but then he found a place for him. And this season, he's playing at right back. So you look at a player like Xavi Simons, and if he's got enough quality, he'll flourish in the system no matter what formation they play.
Yeah. Do you think good things are about to come, Jess, for him?
I agree with the 10 position. He needs to be in the middle. I think also you mentioned about the attitude thing. I think sometimes when there's players that know where they want to be and what they want to do, and they want the freedom to be able to do things, when they get shoved, I don't know, in a corner or somewhere where they feel like they're not being used to their full potential, I can understand why it's frustrating. Like Jed Spence, for example, always got branded with that attitude thing, but then putting him in a position where he can absolutely go forth and flourish and like have people in his back pocket, I think you see them thriving. Every now and then have a bad game, get their head down. Annoyingly, it kind of seeps into the rest of the game, but I think, the best is yet to come.
Let's hope so. Right, well, I think lots of people think, but what's his little smiles about coming from you two across the room? It's like being back at school, isn't it? Say again.
It's an unusual position to be in terms of from Liverpool perspective, and on being on the other ends of a last minute winner.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about.
Still just trying to get used to that feeling. Yeah.
You're not happy with the amount of time added on?
No, I'm not going to get into that conversation. No.
With Spurs, I think many people think that the top four this season, the four strongest teams in the league, look like it's Liverpool, Arsenal, City. And I think at the start of the season, I think many people did say Chelsea. Do you think Spurs might be best positioned to pounce on fifth place if that does open up for a Champions League spot like it did last season?
Yeah, probably. And I would definitely back Thomas Frank. I think he's got a lot about him as a manager, and I think you've seen that over the time. He's at Brentford. He's good at being able to instill his ideas into players. I think it'll take a little bit of time, obviously, and he's still adjusting to new players coming into the squad as well. So I think Spurs will be in and around that conversation.
How do you see it, Quaker? Because at the moment, we know United are all over the place. Newcastle and Villa possibly this season maybe don't look as strong as what we've seen from them in recent seasons.
He wants to admit it just reluctantly, doesn't he?
Admit what? The Spurs are in
Yeah,
around it.
they're
Yeah,
not-
Spurs-
They might come about Chelsea this season the way you guys are going, honestly.
Unfortunately for Spurs.
Poor Enzo Maresca won 2 trophies last season, Champions League football. All I'm seeing on social media is time's up.
I'm not nibbling yet, mate. It's not yet game time. But in terms of Spurs, unfortunately for them, they play Chelsea twice a season, so that's 6 points that they're not going to get, and that's why we'll finish above them. That's not even a dig. That's just the reality.
That felt like a dig.
Even when we're at our very worst, we still stop you getting what you want. And so Chelsea will finish above Spurs, but it'll be competitive. Spurs won't finish 17th again. They can't. It can only go up.
They can. They probably can't, can they? To be fair.
Like, it can only go up from where they were last season. I know it finished with a flourish in terms of winning the Euro, almost the Champions League. No way, winning the Europa
This season, they won from one.
No chance.
Champions Europe.
Again, I hate that. I hate the Champions Europe thing when you win the Europa League. Like, I don't get it. Someone's just scored.
You wouldn't get it.
I wouldn't get it. Chelsea. No, I'm not getting into it. I'm not nibbling.
Well, it's 7:15. It's time to maybe take our first break and we'll take a little breather. Real Madrid have scored a third goal in their game at home to Kairat. So Real Madrid look to go 2 from 2 in the Champions League. They beat Marseille, didn't they? One down against Marseille late on in that game. Ended up scoring 2 very, very late goals. They come into this game on the back of that thumping, conceding 5 goals away at Atletico Madrid. And that's Kylian Mbappe's hat-trick, by the way. He scored 2 against Marseille. And Kwaku says he's finding form. He's just scored a hat-trick. And I wonder how Kylian Mbappe felt last year watching PSG go on and lift the Champions League, given how much time he spent there. But he takes his hat-trick goal really, really well. The ball just rolled out to him, arriving late on the edge of the box. First time finish with his laces into the bottom corner. Real Madrid 3 up. Atalanta have equalised at home to Club Brugge. So they're the 2 games that have got 15 minutes left. We then got 7 games at 8 o'clock. There's 8 games as well in the Championship. We'll take a very quick break on talkSPORT Goals. And then when we come back, we're talking all things Chelsea. A special night at Stamford Bridge. Jose Mourinho is back. Is he going to get booed? He got booed last time he was there, and he's one of your biggest club legend. And I'll be asking Kwaku about Enzo Maresca. Is the pressure well and truly on? of the final one standing leagues is this Friday evening at 8 o'clock, because there's a Friday night 8 o'clock game, isn't there, by the way? So get your picks in before then. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Quakey, what happened on Saturday night, my man?
My luck ran out, mate. I'm out. Spurs, you can never trust Spurs. They're like, one thing in life you should know is you can never trust Spurs. You know that as a Spurs fan, as a long-suffering Spurs fan.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
But yeah, I had them in my final one stand, and they played against Wolves. I thought I was a banker, right? The team bottom of the league, not a single point. What the Spurs do, Dr. Tottenham will now see you, and gave them a point. And now I'm now out of the final one stand in main league. Apparently, you can jump back in.
Yeah, that's the great thing about final one standing with William Hill. You can come back in. I was out third weekend. I came in off the international break. And yes, Spurs did me as well. So I've got to come back in as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Friday night, make sure you get your stuff in before 8 o'clock. It's Sam Ellard, Ryan Bromelo, Jess Izzet, and Quaky Rafari. Real Madrid 3 up away at Kairat, Atalanta 1, Club Brugge 1. We've got about 10 minutes to go in those games. 3 English sides in action this evening. Galatasary versus Liverpool. Salah and Isak on the bench. Liverpool have won 13 of their last 14 matches in the Group League phase of the Champions League, while the last team to keep a clean sheet against the Reds in a non-knockout game in the competition was Atalanta all the way back in November 2020. Bodo Glimt versus Spurs. The only previous meetings between these two sides came in May of this year, with Spurs winning 3-1 and 2-0 in the Europa League semi-finals before, of course, going on to lift that Europa League. And Chelsea home to Benfica. Jose Mourinho is back at Stamford Bridge. It'll be the first meeting between Chelsea and Benfica in the Group League phase of a competition. The previous 4 have all come in the knockout stages. The other games, Atletico Madrid v Frankfurt. Both clubs enjoying thrilling victories over the weekend. Atletico putting 5 past Real Madrid. Eintracht Frankfurt put 6 past Mönchengladbach. Elsewhere this evening, Inter Milan versus Slavia Prague in their first European game since being humbled by PSG in that Champions League final. Inter proved too strong for Ajax last time out, winning by 2-0. Slavia Prague drew their first game. Meeting a Champions League fixture for the first time in over 50 years. Marseille and Ajax will seek their first points of this campaign. Both sides losing on match day 1, and it's Paphos versus Bayern Munich also at 8 o'clock. Quaker, let's now talk all things Chelsea. How special is it for Jose Mourinho to be back at Stamford Bridge?
Yeah, super special. Obviously, he's returned, but as a Spurs manager, as a Man United manager, even as an Inter Milan manager. But now he's returning with a team that we don't really consider rivals for any of the trophies that we're going for. I don't expect Benfica to be in the last stages of the Champions League. The way we're going, we won't be in the last stage of the Champions League either. But yeah, it would be nice for him to get the reception at Stamford Bridge that he deserves. He was the man that ushered in the era of dominance for Chelsea, went back-to-back 05 and 06, and then came back and won the Premier League again, which is an incredible feat. We know how difficult this league is to win. One of the greatest managers of all time, the greatest manager in our history, and he'd be given a great reception at Stamford Bridge tonight.
Where are we at then with Enzo Maresca, Quaker?
Straight into it.
Yeah. Let's get that niceness out of the way, okay? Because we know last season on paper, I think he did what he was supposed to do. He got Chelsea back in the Champions League. He won 2 trophies. A tricky start to the season, in particular, a tricky couple of weeks. We watched the defeat to Brighton here together on Saturday. It feels like he's already under pressure, Quaker. Is that how you see it?
Yes.
From Chelsea fans, I should say.
Chelsea
Maybe
fans,
Chelsea board.
Because ultimately, we talk about football and how fans are like losing their power and losing their voice in football. The one power that fans still have is that they can get a manager sacked. If, for example, Man United fans in Old Trafford turned on Amorim in their next game, he would be gone. Right? If they play against Sunderland at home, all the fans in the stadium start turning on Amorim, boo the team, he'll be gone in short order. And that's what football fans can still do.
Can I just cut you off there? I think you're right.
Yeah.
But Russell Martin and Rangers might be the only way of that. Did you see they scored a last-minute winner on Sunday, and the fans immediately, despite scoring a last-minute winner, started chanting against the manager, which I thought was absolute amazing commitment against
He's
Russell
not helped
Martin.
himself there, though, has he? You know, Russell Martin's not helped himself. Some of the comments that he's said, I mean, you can't just ignore all of that context for the last-minute winner. You're going to need to do a bit more than that, I think, to bring them on side.
Yeah. There we go. Poor Russell Martin, eh? Back to Enzo Maresca, Quaker.
Yeah, so Chelsea fans have started to turn a little bit, and that's because we were a club that are built on volatility, right? We chop and change managers, and that brings us success. In the years we won the Champions League, there have been years that we've sacked managers, brought a new manager in, and won the Champions League. Another goal for Real Madrid, 4-0.
Camavinga with the 4th, Kairat 0, Real Madrid 4.
Yeah, and for Chelsea, it's just. It seems like we take 1 step forward and 2 steps back. And we were capped, right? In the summer, we didn't bring in a goalkeeper, didn't bring a centre-back. You guys have talked about it ad nauseum. I'll probably come around to your way of thinking. In terms of we need we need more quality in the squad. And I feel like when Cole Palmer and Reece James are your highest earners, right? And I'm more talking about Cole Palmer, and he's one of the best players in the world. You are then capping yourself in terms of bringing in somebody who fits what you're looking for, like a Donnarumma, because they're going to be on more money than Cole Palmer, because the new model that we've got, players are on longer contracts, but the value of the contract's depreciated in terms of how much they're getting paid per week. And so Donnarumma, who's probably commanding 250 to 300 grand a week, Chelsea can't go do that deal. And if that's your model, you are capped in terms of how good you're going to be. For example, say Rodrigo came on the market, we wouldn't go in for him because we can't afford his wages. And when you see the summer that teams like Arsenal and Liverpool have had, when they bring in players that are ready to win right now, it tells you why Chelsea can't compete. We'll still finish in the top 4, but in terms of going for the major honours, in terms of going for the Champions League,
so what do you think of that model?
We're not doing it.
What do you think of that model? For the money that you spent to say that you can't compete, what do you think of that model?
So the money that we've spent is a misnomer because, like, again, I hate talking about it. I hate talking about market opportunity and net spend. But the net spend, we're actually in profit. So yeah, we spent money, but we've actually sold assets as well. We sold quality as well. We sold Kai Havertz, who helped us win the Champions League. We sold Jorginho, who helped us win the Champions League. Sold a Mason Mount. We've sold N'Golo Kante. Do you know what I mean? So there's quality that's left the squad. It's not a case of we're just accumulating players. If that was the case, then I'd understand what your point. But I just think that the model's something new, and we have to wait for it to play out. But as a Chelsea fan, I'm used to instant gratification, and we're not getting that. And that's why my issue. I feel like the season's not a write-off already, but in terms of challenging for the League or Champions League, you could definitely. Why are you laughing? You could definitely
already.
Yeah, it is though. It is. In terms of what I want to win, in terms of what I've seen as a Chelsea fan, I was there.
But you knew for a ball was kicked this season that you weren't going to be competing for the Champions League, the league. Sorry, before a ball was kicked. Are you even hesitating with that?
I didn't think that. I think we.
So sorry,
you got Trevor Chalobah, a centre back.
But before a ball was kicked this season, you genuinely thought there was a possibility Chelsea could win the Premier League this season.
Of challenging.
Yeah,
of challenging. For sure. Yeah, I did. And call me deluded, but that's what I thought.
That does feel a little bit different.
But then I look back to the 22-23 season, right?
Sure.
Arsenal off the back of finishing 5th. It was a disaster, right? They crumbled at the end of the season. At the beginning of that 22-23 season, when nobody had them compete for the league, after 19 league games, they're on 50 points. They're on course to get 100 points. Obviously, after the World Cup in the winter, they fell off a little bit and they didn't win the league. But right up until the final weeks of the season, they were competing for the league title. And they didn't make significant signings. They brought in the Gabriel Jesus and the Zinchenko. That's not necessarily signings you're going to say win you the league. But they had a belief in the manager and belief in the philosophy and belief in the way they play football the season prior that they could go and challenge. And they did. So I don't think it's crazy for me as a Chelsea fan who finished 4th last year, won the Club World Cup, to say, why can't we challenge? I don't think that's out of the question.
You mentioned in terms of the strategy in the window, in terms of not going out there and saying we need a good goalkeeper, let's go and get Donnarumma. In that respect, then, if you've got a little bit more, should we be giving a little bit more leeway to Enzo Maresca in terms of what he's working with and in terms of sort of, the players? Because I disagree with you. I didn't think for a single second that Chelsea were going to be anywhere near competing for the league this season. I thought best case scenario would be 4th or 5th place, and I still think that's where you're going to be. So in terms of what he's got at his disposal, do you think some of the criticism coming Maresca's way is unfair, or do you think coaching what he's got, he's not doing a good enough job?
Coaching matters, but let's take those two positions, right? Goalkeeper, Chelsea showed their intent when they were linked to Mike Maignan at the beginning of the window. Didn't go out and do it. But showing your intent means that there's an issue there, but you didn't address the issue. You didn't bring in the goalkeeper. And then centre-back, Enzo Maresca said it himself when Levi Colwill went down. We need a centre-back. So instead,
Chelsea bought Garnacho and Buonanotte.
So in that sense, I do have sympathy for him. Because, everybody knows what the issues are. Internally, you know what the issues are. You've been linked with players in those positions, but didn't pull the trigger. And so the manager has to work with what he's got. But unfortunately, some of the coaching decisions haven't been on point this season. Think about the substitutions when Chelsea went down to 10 men against Manchester United. Terrible. He's even admitted himself that he's made some mistakes in the previous games. I don't really hold it too much against him in the Brighton game. But again, we weren't proactive in terms of substitutions. There's still a chance to win games when you're down to 10 men. We won the Champions League in 2012, that semi-final against Barcelona, down to 10 men against the best club in the world. It's possible. So there are multiple reasons why Chelsea are struggling this season. But ultimately, for me, I just want to see us win games. That's what I want to see. Whether it's by bringing in players, whether it's by better coaching, I want to see us be a consistent team, knowing that week in, week out, we are favourites and we are going to go and get 3 points. The same confidence that you guys have when you watch Liverpool, right? It might not be a great performance, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to find a way to win that game. With Chelsea, everything has to be perfect for us to win. And in recent weeks, with the red cards and the ill discipline, things haven't been perfect, and it's been a very, very trying week and a half for Chelsea.
How do you see where Chelsea are at, Ryan?
It's tricky because I think what you're saying at times shows the cracks in the model around who they've brought in this summer in particular. And we had a long debate about Mark Gay and the impact of someone like him coming in. And I genuinely feel, I mean, I've been polling, mate. I've been walking around and speaking to as many Chelsea fans as I can. And the general conversation is you need an experienced keeper and a centre-half. That tends to always be the headline. Any person you speak to, whether it's the barber, whether it's the person down in the pub, whether it's someone that you speak to in the street, I'm not doing that too often, but, you know, those are the people. The general reflections, mate, are always those two things. And it just baffles me that the club won't go out and buy those two parts of the team to give themselves every chance with the money that they have put out there to give themselves every chance of putting themselves in the conversation for
but you
the
can't,
Prem
you
and the
actually
Champions
physically
League.
can't do that now you're down this path. You can't do that because say for example you go and bring in a Donnarumma, then you have to have a sit down Cole Palmer and what does this guy say though and say you're matched, and as soon as you do that the model's broken.
Liverpool had the same problem with Salah, didn't they? And Van Dijk, you know, we brought in Isak and Wirtz, who are two of the most exciting talents
on 9-year contracts or 7-year contracts. Their contracts are much shorter, so you can pay them more money. You can't put Cole Palmer in a 7 or 8 year contract paying him $400,000 a week. You just can't. It just doesn't work. The maths doesn't work, and that's what I mean. In terms of the model, you're down this path already. You can't veer off of it. So
Craig, I appreciate that. Where I've got sympathy with Enzo Maresca, whatever model you want to talk about, whether you want to pay a goalkeeper $500,000 a week or $100,000 a week, I don't think it took a genius at the end of last season to look at this Chelsea squad on paper and to clearly see, in terms of finishing top 4, can pick whatever you wanted to do. The goalkeeper needed an upgrade, and you yourself said all season last year that you needed an A-side centre-back to come in, and you got neither of them.
But is Mark Gahey an A-side centre-back?
I think Mark Gahey's a very good centre-back that would improve Chelsea.
I think he was significant against Liverpool on Saturday. If he's not in that side, he plays for Liverpool.
But what
I think we win
Chelsea
that game.
to do, right, is compete with you lot. When Mark Gahey eventually goes to Liverpool next summer, is he an A-side or B-side centre-back?
Well, next to Van Dijk,
he's a B-side centre-back.
He's playing next to Virgil van Dijk, isn't
any world-class team's a B-side centre-back.
But I
don't pay him like an A-side.
Yeah, but
I don't understand. What's that got to do with? I don't care A, B, C, D, or
and
E.
It's the partnership.
He'd have improved Chelsea, wouldn't he?
And it's the partnership.
You got Paddy Shield playing centre half tonight.
I can't do anything about that. All I'm saying is that
he's already got a relationship with Chalobah.
Oh, is this what it is? Was he one of your boys on the Club World Cup?
He's got a relationship with Chalobah already.
I thought you meant you.
I tell you what, he's got relationships in every little corner.
I mentioned I went to the Club World Cup and interviewed all the boys.
I actually saw on your Instagram the other day you with Cole Palmer, and the first thing I thought was, why did you go for the John Cena jorts look?
You like George?
I don't know.
As a woman, I'm sure you can appreciate fashion, and you're dressed to the nines tonight. Jorts, do they work?
What are you wearing them with?
I'll show you.
On then.
Really quickly.
If I'm interviewing Cole Palmer, I'm not wearing jorts. I'm sorry. I'm not having that.
Got to make a statement
anyway.
So, does that work?
Oh.
There we go. There we go. So, that sound says it all. Okay. Back to the football. Do you think we know you've mentioned a lot on this show, and you're right to mention it. The previous ownership of this football club, it was come in and win. If you don't win, you're gone. Do you think this current ownership, with Enzo Maresca, in terms of giving him real time and patience, do you think they're going to have a different approach to the previous owner?
They are just as ruthless as Abramovich, but just in a different way.
Not as ruthless.
As ruthless. They've gone through.
I feel like Abramovich would have sat Maresca already.
With it, in terms of.
I think that's
you
fair,
see, you wouldn't be surprised, would you?
No, in terms of like their time at the football club, they've gone through more managers than Abramovich did in his first 3 years at the football club. Think about the managers already at Chelsea. They sacked
Tuchel, didn't they?
They sacked
Tuchel. Came in, didn't they? Yeah.
They brought in Potter within the same season. They sacked Potter. Lampard came in. Lampard went out, and then they brought in Pochettino, and then got rid of Pochettino. They've gone through managers, and if it's not working, because Chelsea fans are so volatile, and they do call for managers' heads. As soon as the board are given the indication that the fans aren't happy, they will pull the trigger. They will.
What's the threshold then for him to be sacked, do you think? Under this ownership?
I think they'll give it till Christmas, but if Chelsea languish in mid-table at Christmas, I think that the noise will be too much. The noise will be too much, and I think he'll be relieved of his duties. I'm not calling for that. I think Enzo Maresca has done a good job. He's hit the targets, right? Top 4 last season, won the Conference League, which we had to win, and won the Club World Cup, which I know everyone wants to diminish, but we did play against PSG in the final, who turned over everyone's team.
Do you think that's had any impact? Do you think that's had any impact?
Well, Club World Cup?
Yeah.
I will never use that as an excuse. I think
I'm not saying an excuse, I'm just saying it's an impact. Do you think it's had any impact?
Well, obviously it has, because look at Madwecki, who was at the Club World Cup for Chelsea. He's now injured for Arsenal. Look at Cole Palmer. We've actually got quite a long injury list. But this was the youngest team in Premier League history last year. The boys should have used that as motivation. And I've got for Madrid. The boys should use that as motivation. They should have used that as a springboard for this season. When you are so young, I think that the lack of pre-season doesn't affect you as much as if you're an older squad, right? Man City can use that as an excuse, in my opinion. Maybe Liverpool could have used that as an excuse. Chelsea can't use that as an excuse. This is a young team that want to win things, that want to be in these competitions. So any kind of excuse that we've got midweek football, we played in the Club World Cup, I'm not hearing it. And I think that's weak. And that's not what Chelsea have been in my lifetime. They've not been weak. We've been ruthless, been decisive, and been winners. And at the moment, I don't recognise my football club. And that's, I think, the most tough thing for Chelsea fans at the moment. It's like, this is not the Chelsea of yesteryear. Chelsea of yesteryear, when we went down to 10 men, we'd win games. We'd S-house it to win games. And we're a soft touch right now with no experience.
Yes, when you look at, with your Spurs hat on and you look at Chelsea, do you think Spurs will come above Chelsea this season?
I think we can, yeah. But I think the thing, what you're saying, when you've got a bunch of young players, the reason why there's no identity there is because they're all young players like fighting for their own things. I mean, we're already talking about Cole Palmer and fashion. He's got he's a really obviously talented guy. Love him. That's the Chelsea player that I can say I love. But I just think you've got like a lack of identity within that. And then the fact that you're talking about partnerships, like, yeah, you can bring in the highest paid players, whatever. But like, if we use Spurs as an example, we've got Mickey van der Ven who's come in as one of the best signings in the last however long that I can remember. And he is solid with Romero at the back. And you don't see that ever.
When he plays.
He's been playing all season. He's been playing all season.
If I get him that caveat with Reece James, I'm using when he plays for Van der Ven as well.
But you saw how Arsenal struggled in the first half against Newcastle.
I couldn't believe he didn't play Saliba, by the way. That was
you can see how difficult that was. Honestly, you're just a slight chink at that level. The finest margins.
What I'd say
just
is that we get so caught up in winning the transfer window, going in the transfer window. But Liverpool, last summer, when everyone said, what do Liverpool need? They need number 6. You didn't go and get number 6 and you still ran away with the league.
But they had a 6 though in the team, didn't he? Gravenberch.
He almost became a new signing, didn't he, in terms of complete change of position.
You can't tell me at the end of that transfer window you were happy with that transfer window. You were all Liverpool fans were like, we need to...
I'm not Arnie Slot about me.
Yeah, and I'm not Enzo Maresca or the board. So the things you're throwing at me, I could have thrown at you at the end of last summer. When Liverpool fans like, we had a poor summer because we didn't bring in the 6. They found the solution. I'm asking, now the window's closed, we can't do anything about this right now. It's not the summer. It's not January. Please coach. Because we're not going to have the next Bastoni come through the door or the next version of Virgil van Dijk come through the door. We are in September right now. It's not the summer. It's not the transfer window. So I don't want to waste my time talking about ifs, buts, maybes, things that we could have done. Please coach.
Where do you think he can get more out of the side then?
Being more proactive.
Maybe if they train with 10 men.
Do you know what I mean?
Or just don't get players head off, maybe. That's also the other one.
Just be a bit more proactive, right? Okay. You've got quality attacking players. Let it breathe. Be a bit quicker in possession. Don't just dawdle on the ball and try and bring the opposition into you. Be on the front foot. Be a bit more aggressive and take the game to the opposition. Because the problem Chelsea have got right now is that it's ponderous. It's boring. It's not football with emphasis and with bite, and that's where I think that we've been poor tactically.
It needs a spark that someone like Palmer gives you, and that's why his impact is so significant.
For sure, but again, this is what Chelsea fans don't do. We don't use injuries as an excuse, right? Palmer's injured and Palmer's missed the majority of the games. If this was Arsenal, right, when Arsenal were going through their problems, when they're missing a big player, we all hear about it. But Chelsea fans don't do that. We want solutions. We don't want to hear about what the problems are. Give me solutions. Cole Palmer's one of the best players in the world, right? But I'm not going to use that as an excuse for Enzo Maresca. Find the solution.
Brahim Diaz scored Real Madrid's 5th goal when out of time. Real Madrid make it back-to-back wins in the Champions League, winning 5-0 away at Kairat. They beat Marseille. They have 6 points from 6. Atalanta, who lost their first game away to PSG by 4-0, have their first victory of the Champions League. They beat Club Brugge by 2-1. So both those games then are at full times. 7 more games to come. Also, by the way, 8 games this evening in the Championship. 7 of those start 7:45. We'll keep you across all of those. There's also a couple of games as well in League One. So we've ticked off Spurs, we've ticked off Chelsea. Quakey was an angry man. He's more angry about Jess having to go at his jorts than he actually is Enzo Maresca. Honestly, Quakey, you are not John Cena, okay? And you're never going to be John Cena. We're taking a very quick break on talkSPORT Goals, and then we're talking Liverpool, who lost on the weekend. Hello, a very good evening and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. Brought to you by Final One Standing. It's new from William Hill, 18+, gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply. Sam Ellard, Ryan Bromelu, Kwesi Wafari and Jess Izzat taking you through a busy night of football in the Champions League and up and down the country. Real Madrid and Atalanta have already won this evening. Spurs, Liverpool and Chelsea all in action in the Champions League at 8. Just very briefly, before we talk Liverpool with Ryan, in the Championship this evening, Birmingham versus Sheffield Wednesday, 7:45 kickoff. Birmingham went undefeated during their first 4 games of the season, winning 3 and drawing 1 across all competitions, but have lost 4 of their last 5 as Blackburn versus Swansea. Blackburn lost 2 of their last 3. Bristol City v Ipswich should be a good game. Bristol City 4th in the table, but are in the midst of a 2-match winless run, while Ipswich looking to back their 3rd straight Championship victory after a tricky start. Hull Preston perhaps the surprise package of the season so far, 6th in the table. They finished 20th last season. They got the best joint defensive record in the competition, conceding just 5 goals. 2 of those came when they played the league leaders Middlesbrough. Leicester versus Wrexham. Wrexham in the Championship this season, taking on Leicester, of course, relegated from the Premier League last season. Borough versus Stoke, that's 1st versus 3rd. Rob Edwards has made an impressive start to life as Middlesbrough boss, having overseen 5 wins and 2 draws in his 7 league matches in charge. Both the draws came in their last 2 away games, including Saturday's clash at Southampton. Sheffield United versus Southampton. Sheffield United picking up their first point and first win of the season at Oxford, just gone under Chris Wilder. The winner at the weekend was their first goal in 6 matches across all competitions. And the final game is an 8 o'clock kickoff, Derby versus Charlton. After winning promotion via the League One playoff, Charlton have made a positive start to their Championship campaign. Their first since the 1920 season, 3 wins already on the board. They start the evening 7th in the table. So we got 7 games at 7:45. That Derby-Charlton game is at 8 o'clock. Regular scores throughout the course of the evening. In League One, by the way, Blackpool, Luton, Cardiff, Burton have just got underway. Ryan, you didn't fancy coming on talkSPORT Goals on Saturday?
Sure you don't want to go to any more scores, lad? I think the Scottish Premiership, maybe. Is anything else going on there? National League, Women's?
Sorry, what's your point, mate?
Just trying to lay the Liverpool chat.
I thought you were having a go at my presenting skills there. I thought, brave.
Did you do that?
Did you get your makeup done, by the way?
I didn't, mate. No, I knew you were going to bring that up.
Honestly, text me earlier. Oh, can I get my makeup done? I want some makeup.
Yeah.
Honestly, seriously.
Wow.
Seriously.
Why not?
He's changed, hasn't he? Honestly.
Big time.
Starting to wind up now.
I'm only messing around.
Here we
with
go.
On the spot on the weekend. You know what I mean? I'm looking at. By the way,
Glow up. Look at this bad boy.
What's the glow up?
The last few months, yeah, the clothes have changed. The jeans have got baggy ass.
This fella's talking to me with £200 aftershave on. He's saying to me, look at the glow up.
Honestly, if only our audience
Get
could
out of
smell
it, lad.
Kwesi through YouTube and our smart TVs. You do smell good. We've both gone for the white T-shirt jacket. Someone earlier said to me in the office, actually it was the boss, by the way, he looked me up and down and went, I can see you doing talkSPORT Goals. You got your standard talkSPORT Goals outfit on. So I think he basically means I wear the same thing every single week.
Nah, man, you look good.
Sorry that I haven't got a big wardrobe. Leave me alone. I like a white T-shirt and a jacket.
We'll be wearing jorts next.
Oh, I'll tell you what, there's only one man that can wear jorts. It's not Kwesi Wafari. It's the never-seen 17-time champion, Sean Cena, by the way. If you know, you know. Anyway, happy that we've taken 3 minutes out.
Good, that was it. It's good little deflection there.
Let's get straight to it. You were there on Saturday, right? Covering, you're doing updates kind of nationally.
Yeah,
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Another poor performance from Liverpool, but I guess the difference this time is there was no late winner for Liverpool.
Yeah.
A late winner for the opposition. What did you make of the performance?
A bit odd, to be honest. I thought the first half he made a lot of changes, and I was surprised by the changes that he made. I was surprised by the formation that he approached the game with, and the way he tried to break Palace down. And he quickly corrected that in the second half. But in slot fashion, he could have done that a little bit earlier. To be honest with you, we weren't getting anywhere. To be honest, we looked sluggish in the first half. Created 1 or 2 chances. Second half, much more improved. Got Verts more on the ball. And look, Palace are a great team. You know, I always thought that could have been a potential banana skin. Really, it was a tough one. When you look at they've gone 18 games unbeaten. That was always going to be a tricky game. But it's no excuse for losing a goal in the 98th minute. It just isn't. And I think we were actually caught in 2 minds. We're trying to win the game rather than not lose it.
And Slot mentioned that in his press conference, didn't he? Almost sort of, he didn't name the player, but he was disappointed at one of the players who tried to counter-attack from the corner. And of course, it came back in. So, right, I feel like I've probably asked this question quite a few times over the last couple of weeks, even when Liverpool have been winning games of football. But Liverpool, up until winning the league last season, incredibly dominant. Everything felt so controlled, so measured, a new style under Arne Slot. This season, it feels the complete opposite. We know new players have come in, but why do you think this is the Liverpool team, the Premier League champions, the best team in the league, who are struggling to control games of football like they did so well last season?
I think if you look at Liverpool's best 45 minutes this year, it was against Everton at home. And the reason for that for me was because we had a midfield three that was similar to last year. And we brought Ekitike in up front and we had Kairat. So there was minimal changes. So there was consistency. Those players have gelled. They all know the patterns. They all know how each other play. I think he's made a lot of changes. I am a little bit surprised by the lineup that he's brought out tonight as well. He's benched Salah. He's benched Isak.
I'm not letting you off the hook for this one.
Come on, sunshine.
So, like, that game, we sat here and we're covering it on talkSPORT Goals and looked at it on paper, right? When everything is up and running, surely that's Liverpool's best 11, no?
Which one?
The 11 that lost against Palace.
Yeah,
you got Verts in there. You got Isak in there. You just
want to ignore the context of that.
You got the midfield. You got the midfield. You got the midfield.
Want to ignore that Verts is coming into.
You've got McAllister next to Gravenberch. The midfield that you've been dying for. When they play together, we never lose. You've got Szoboszlai in there, a man that you love. You got the back four that you probably have going forward. Conor Bradley's in there, who's better defender than Frimpong. No excuses. No excuses. So what are you talking about in terms of there's a problem with the formation?
It's not an excuse, is it? It's just a reason for why.
Well, Ekitike got sent off, so he couldn't play. So
I just said it wasn't good enough.
Okay.
Right? So I just said it wasn't good enough.
That you were asking for earlier.
This is the 18.
The 18
right?
that you wanted.
That's the Avengers. That is a team that nobody...
I'm not up on me.
But honestly, you said you were surprised or he made too many changes. What was he supposed to do with the squad that he had available?
He could do it more gradually.
Exactly what he was supposed to do.
He could do it more gradually, and also he might cop for the fact that if he is going to go for his starting 11, the main 11 that he wants in there straight away, knowing the context around Isak, for instance, you are going to come up against those challenges, and I think he's priced that into his thinking.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised in the sense that away from home, he would try a new approach against a Palace side that are well oiled.
So what would you have done?
Well, I probably would have went more like the Everton game. I reckon we would have had. I would have went for a few more minimal changes, and I think you need a phased approach.
But who?
Don't play the new players.
Tell me the changes.
Well, Ekitike screwed us, let's not forget.
Okay.
I think that was a big miss, right? So I would put Isak up top, and I probably would have had Kairat at left back, right? And then I probably would have a midfield three of Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister.
Which he did.
Just speaking of Ekitike, just speaking of Ekitike, by the way, the William Hill epic boost tonight is Ekitike to score or assist against Galatasaray. That's now at evens, boosted from 8 to 15. An impact sub applies. That could be Salah, possibly, could be Isak, possibly, as it does for all tonight's Champions League games. Max bet is a tenner, 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
What are you not getting though about adjustments to the Premier League?
No, because you can't have both ways, right? Like
what other way am I trying to have it?
So you sit here and you point out the faults of Chelsea, which you're right to do. Yeah. But when you play your Avengers, right, everyone's lording.
What point are you trying to make here, Quaker?
My point is, he said that he didn't like the approach to the game from Arne Slot.
Okay.
Right? What would you have done differently?
Well, as I said, it would have been a bit more similar to the Everton.
So you would have brought in Gakpo, said your £120 million signing, right?
No, well, I would have had Isak. I would have had Isak instead of Ekitike.
Yeah.
But I would have had Ekitike if he was available, which he wasn't, right? Yeah, but I would have made minimal changes. Is my point, right? I probably wouldn't have started it. Away at Selhurst Park, I think he would have had more impact off the bench. I was surprised he didn't play in the week. I thought he would have been better suited to play in the week at Southampton with Isak, to be honest with you. So that's what I would have done. It would have been more akin to the line-up against Everton in the first half because we looked our most fluid best. And to be honest with you, you've got to play what's in front of you. So it's pointless ignoring all the context and going, well, we're playing against a Palace side that are terrific, by the way, at home. They've been terrific for the last 4 to 5 months now. They're consistent. They know each other's roles inside out. So why wouldn't you stick with the consistency of last year to get yourself over the line in that very specific game? Against Chelsea, by the way, and make a few changes, because guess what? There's more to exploit, isn't there? I tell you what, there's more to exploit against Chelsea next weekend.
You're not getting a nibble out of me. This is Liverpool, baby. We're talking about Liverpool until the start of the game.
So that's me blowing the point.
No. See, this is the nonsense.
I don't know what you're not getting.
This is nonsense, right? You brought in Florian Wirtz, who we were all lauding.
Yeah.
But to say you're going away at Palace and, you know what, I wouldn't have started him. That's the reason why I lost the game. Nonsense.
Yeah, but you can ease in a new signing, can't you, and pick the right moment.
By the way, Fabinho.
The first 6 months he didn't play, did he?
The first 3 months.
Robertson was the same, by the way. Robertson
the same, right? They were phased in, and then they became unreal. Moises Caicedo as well, by the way, took time to adjust to that new Chelsea side. Yeah, no, but that might have been quite a problem actually. But when Chelsea last year at times,
when Arsenal came to,
you can see the penalty in his first game.
When Arsenal came to Anfield, right? What was the biggest criticism? Why is Eze on the bench? No talk. There wasn't.
Arsenal needed a new lease of life. Liverpool have plenty of life. They have plenty of goals. They have plenty of creativity.
You don't need to get your £150 million signing up and going, no? Away at Palace is too much to ask. So the reason you lost is because Wirtz started that game.
No, it's not the reason he lost. The reason he lost, I think there's the variety of things. His formation he got wrong. We didn't defend the set piece particularly well, and we wanted to win the game in the 98th minute rather than lose the game. They're the three reasons, mate.
Okay.
That I would say. But the second half, we played much better. And you know what? If Wirtz was a little bit more up to speed, he buries that chance. If Isak's a bit more up to speed, he buries that chance. So the point is, in November, if you play that line-up, you win the game 2-3-1. But actually, at this time of the year, where Isak's still adjusting to his new teammates, he's only had 3 games, and Wirtz as well, who's still adjusting to the Premier League. They didn't take the chances. You can't ignore that concept. You just can't ignore that concept.
Say Eze, right, at Arsenal was struggling. You wouldn't afford him that grace. It's not like Isak was playing in the foreign league. Isak is playing...
Wirtz was, though.
Wirtz was, but Isak wasn't. Yeah. So Isak not being up to...
But Isak's had a completely unique pre-season, hasn't he?
Right? that grace. We would turn around and say that Eze's not had a...
Would you?
Yeah, you would. Around pre-season, you would, yeah, absolutely. Not in terms of adjusting the quality like a Wirtz. Wirtz is more around he's adjusting to a new league. I'm not saying Isak's adjusting to a new league, am I? He's trying to get up to fitness. The lad's not fit. So how can you expect him to be a peak performance? That's like you going on a night out, right? Going to get lashed in a redwood, then going to as many clubs as you want up until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then you coming on here presenting talkSPORT goals.
And you know what you tell me?
Why
do you think you were so bad for that last Champions League show?
And you know what you tell me, Bromolo? You tell me it's my fault. It's Isak's fault that he's not up to scratch. It's Isak's fault that he's not up to speed.
Yeah.
I have no sympathy for him. I have no sympathy for you guys. I think that you are trying to deflect from the fact that you lot have not been good.
I don't want your sympathy. What do I need sympathy for?
You lot have not been good at
football. Premier League champions.
Yeah, I'm Premier League champions. What would I need your sympathy for?
Okay, congratulations. You lot have not been good since you won the league. In terms of playing football.
That's nonsense.
No, it's not.
No. I think it's fair to say that based on performances this season, apart from the 40... I'm not disputing that.
Arsenal?
But
Arsenal then, on Sunday. You say Arsenal weren't good on Sunday.
Sunday just gone.
Really, yeah.
I actually thought Arsenal was really good on Sunday.
Exactly.
I thought
Arsenal played over the line, didn't he? But he scored and he scored the last-minute winner.
Right. I think Quakey's point about Liverpool's performance having been good this season, I don't think you can argue with that.
I think in parts they have. That Liverpool-Everton game, come on, the first 45
against Everton was
top.
But you pointed to
that. They were top against Atletico Madrid as well. He scored 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. What are you not watching, mate?
All right, man. All right, so you were good against Newcastle.
Burnley.
You were good against Bournemouth. You were good against Burnley. I'm not saying you didn't find a way. I'm saying you're not playing well right now.
I think in periods in the game we are, and in periods of the game we're not. Would you say that's fair? With a new team
I'd say you're way below the levels
still
you
clicking.
were before.
So do you then think? Are you worried for Liverpool? Bit of an over-exaggerated question. Do you think, has your opinion changed on perhaps where you're at in terms of who you think is going to win the league, given how you think Liverpool haven't played that well this season?
No, it's my opinion.
That's what it all leads to.
No. Liverpool, I think they will win the league, and they have to win the league. You can't have a transfer window. You lot told me about the spending that we made, right? The spending you made has been substantial as well. But then we balance it out of net spend. But we balance it out of net spend, right?
That we think we need,
and you've sold players
to make the jump.
Yeah, of course. But I'd say Liverpool will win the league, and you have to win the league. If you don't win the league, I think it'll be a disaster.
And it wouldn't be for Arsenal.
It would be a disaster.
And it wouldn't be for Arsenal, though, would it?
No.
Why would it not be?
Because
fun?
I was
How much it meant to them yesterday,
brother. I was 11 years old the last time Arsenal won the league. Like I told you before, it's par for the course of Arsenal don't win the league. Liverpool won the league last season and had the best transfer window in history.
How old you were?
Guys, that was fun. We're back in 60 seconds. 8 o'clock games, the Champions League start in exactly 57 seconds. A very good evening and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. It's just gone 8 o'clock on Tuesday, September the 30th, so that means our games in the Champions League are about to get underway. What is this, by the way, on a serious note? I'm sorry.
On to get his powder done.
Honestly, seriously, this guy has become a diva, hasn't he?
Of course,
he's now just rocking up late into shows that have ad breaks. Seriously, you don't see Jess rolling on the floor when she's hosting a Radio 1 show, do you?
I wasn't rolling, I was crawling.
Well, rolling, crawling, tomato. We needed that wide shot 10 seconds ago, didn't we, really, otherwise? It's Sam Ellard, Ryan Bromelu, Kweki Wafari, and Jess Isn't it? I've said your name wrong 3 times, haven't I?
You can...
How
do you say that you've not listened to my radio show without saying that you've not listened to my radio show?
But you know what I'm going to do now, though? I'm going to listen to your radio show, okay? Yeah. And we'll have a talk after the show, by the way, about a little collab, okay, that I've got thinking, all right? Because I think we can make...
do a mix?
Yeah, I think, on a serious note, you think I'm joking? I'm going to drive you insane, okay? We've got some goals in the Championship. Hull 0, Preston 2. What a start for Preston away at Hull this evening. Preston having a really good start to the season. 6th in the table. Finished 20th last season. They got the joint best defensive record and they find themselves 2-0 up already away at Hull, who start the evening 18th in the table. Preston have enjoyed 2 wins in their last 12 league visits to Hull. They don't like travelling there, but so far so good this evening. And also Birmingham 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Birmingham taking a very early lead in that game. Just haven't won 4 of their last 5 games, have Birmingham. Sheffield Wednesday, though, they went winless over their first 5 games of the Championship season, losing 4 times, but after taking 4 points from their last 2, something for Sheffield Wednesday to really, really try and build on. They picked up a victory at Portsmouth, a draw on Saturday at home to QPR, but this evening hasn't started well for them away at Birmingham. It's Birmingham 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. All the other games in the Championship are goalless. In League 1, there's 1 goal already this evening. Blackpool are leading Luton by a 0-0. The results in the Champions League, Atalanta have their first points of this season's Champions League, beating Club Brugge by 2-1. Real Madrid have 2 wins from 2, a 5-0 victory away at Kairat, plus a hat-trick for Kylian Mbappe. 8 games down in the Champions League, 7 more games, have just got underway. Atletico Madrid 0, Frankfurt 0, Spurs are away to Bodo Glimt, Chelsea hosting Benfica, the return of Jose Mourinho, Liverpool away at Galatasaray, no Isak or Salah in the starting 11, Inter Milan, Slavia Prague, Marseille Ajax, and Paphos versus Bayern Munich. Jess, what are you looking for Spurs this evening? A big night for Johnson and Odegaard, who have kind of been bit part players so far this season, but a chance for them to impress?
Johnson, I think, we spoke about this. I spoke with Majestic yesterday about this. He's been sorely underrated. I mean, he came on and scored for us, but
sorry, Jess. Galatasaray were just played in there down the left-hand side. Really, really good through ball forward. Completely cut Liverpool's defence in half. And I think that was Yilmaz who broke through. But Alisson, like he did on Saturday, had to make plenty of big saves. Really good through ball. He peels off Szoboszlai, and Alisson does well to come out and make a really good save. First chance for Galatasaray, still goalless. Jess, back to you.
I was just going to say I need a goal from Richie this game, I reckon. I feel like he started off so well with that absolute worldie of a goal with the bicycle kick, which I think they were showing earlier.
Burnley.
Appreciating that again. But he sometimes goes a bit anonymous. He likes to hide behind his player, and I just feel like he can step up when he wants to, but he just doesn't seem to. I think actually with Brennan, the fans are so split with him, but people are calling him a tapping merchant, but he's in the right place. Yeah, but he's in the right place at the right time.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Right? Like, everyone has their technique, what they're good at, and people, they say that it's not good enough that he doesn't take his players on, but when he's got them on pace and he can get them around the back, why would you spend your energy doing that when you can get it round people like that? We've got more people calling in.
Welcome to Talk Goals.
I
think it's because you dropped the Percy Pigs on the floor earlier.
No, that was outrageous. I love the scared look on Jess's face as she realised someone was crawling behind her. How big of a miss is Dominic Solanke?
I think that I feel like we need someone that people are scared that he's going to get a goal. And I think Solanke is that person that you just don't leave on his own ever.
Sure.
And I think, like, in the same way that Harry Kane used to drop back, sometimes Solanke can do that. He can defend as well. He's tall. He's a big guy. I think what we're lacking with someone like Brennan is that it's that strength, that getting scared of them and getting scared that you can't leave them on their own. I think that we have a real spread of people on the score sheet for Spurs at the minute, but what we need is an out-and-out goal machine. And Solanke, I think, was going to be our answer to that. And we've just not seen him on the pitch enough.
Is the answer to that long-term Harry Kane coming back to Spurs?
Harry Kane is coming back.
Yeah?
Harry, come home.
That's starting to build momentum, though, isn't it, right? The Harry Kane...
Feels like it really makes sense.
It does really make sense. And
like, he's gone to Germany. He's done what he's wanted to do. He's won trophies. He's played in the Champions League.
Yeah.
If he was to then go somewhere else... Like, now, I don't think it's the right time for him to join Man City and just win a Premier League. He'd get more, wouldn't he? More fulfilment.
Yeah.
By going to Spurs and trying to win something.
I'll tell you what, Ekatike there, mate, just showed you exactly what we missed on Saturday. The build-up play. Genuinely, the build-up play in the lower third there.
Talk us through, Ryan, what happened?
Inside the Galatasaray half. He's picked it up literally off Kairat. And he's pinched it 3 or 4 times. Every single one as tight as it needed to be. Opens up the space, throws a lovely ball across the vert, and almost gets himself on the end of the move that results in a corner.
Bristol City boast the second best attacking record in the Championship, scoring 13 goals from their opening 7 matches, 1 more than league leaders Middlesbrough, but 5 fewer than Coventry. And they have a goal this evening. Bristol City 1, Ipswich 0. Rob Atkinson giving Bristol City the lead. They've had a really, really good start to the season. A goal in France. Marseille are leading Ajax by a goal to 0. Marseille, of course, managed nowadays by Roberto De Zerbi. The opening match for Roberto De Zerbi, a bitter taste in his mouth as the side were level pegging with Real Madrid until the latter stage before a controversial penalty gave Real Madrid the victory. It was the second penalty called against them in that contest. His team having now lost 19 of their previous 22 Champions League affairs. But Marseille are leading Ajax by a goal to 0. Ajax starting their campaign with a defeat against last year's finalists Inter Milan. Quake, how Chelsea started at Stamford Bridge?
I like the tempo. We're playing with pace. There's a lot of pace in this game, a lot of aggression. There's loads of underlying narratives as well. Obviously, Otamendi coming back to England and playing against a team that is challenging.
I have to say, Quaku, that's not the sexiest narratives, is it?
And
like, I didn't wake up this morning and think, oh, Nicholas Otamendi's back in England.
I can't even make a point in the show without getting. I mean, I'm just trying to talk about football.
I have to say,
I'm just going to go.
I have to say, if you're a newspaper guy, if you're a newspaper guy and you went, the back page spread is Otamendi's back in England. It's not. I have to say, it's not. That bit hasn't gripped.
I've already talked about trying to say. Get off me! Don't touch me! No one touch me!
Sorry. So Nicholas Otamendi is back.
Stay away from me.
How's Otamendi started?
Enzo Fernandez against his former team as well, and of course Jose Mourinho. You want me to do the tap-in one? Jose Mourinho back at Stamford Bridge, managing the team in the Champions League, and it's been a good start. Garnacho has actually looked sharp for Chelsea. There's been tackles flying in, but I've liked what I've seen so far. The thing about Chelsea is that it takes one thing to happen, and the whole game plan goes out the window. On the weekend, it was Chalobah getting sent off. Obviously, against Manchester United, it was Robert Sanchez getting sent off. So what I want to see is that intensity, that tempo, that pressing, but also game management as well. And when you've got an inexperienced side, you kind of lose that a little bit. But first 5-6 minutes has been good from Chelsea.
Atletico Madrid made history at the weekend. They've not only handed Xavi Alonso and Real Madrid his first defeat as manager, but also scored 5 goals in the Madrid derby for the first time since 1950. And they have an early goal this evening. Atletico Madrid leading Frankfurt by a goal to nil. Frankfurt starting the Champions League campaign a couple of weeks ago with a 5-1 victory. Home to Galatasaray. A chance there for Ekitike. A ball whipped in from the left-hand side. And Ekitike got his head on it, and it just went over the bar. And is that the first chance of the evening for Spurs away at Bodo Glimt? Bergvall with a really good ball across goal. Oh no, Richarlison a couple of yards out. The ball falls to him, Jess, and he almost just can't sort his feet out, and then he makes a real mess of that finish.
I just can't. I love Richie so much, but I just need him to put stuff like that away.
Yeah, that was.
Do you know, I'm fascinated by Richarlison as a player, right? Because I remember being at the World Cup in Qatar a few years ago, and like Brazilian fans idolise. Like, some say he's better than Neymar. He's one of our favourite. And then I've watched him play in the Premier League for 4 or 5 years, and honestly, I don't think I've seen him have a good game.
But
honestly, I don't get it, Jess.
Burnley?
But that was a good finish, to be fair. I just think he works his socks off, Jess. I just think technically he always seems to be a bit all over the place, and that's a prime example there. Okay, a defender tried to make a last-ditch tackle, but he just couldn't sort his feet out. That should have been, for a Champions League player, quite a simple finish, in my opinion.
I know that he's a confidence player. I know that, and I think we all see that. And then when he's on, but he just seems to fumble it so much. And I'm such a big Richie fan, like, I feel like as a person, but across like that, he needs to put that away.
It should have been a simple finish, really, shouldn't it? But yeah, he made a meal of it.
He doesn't. It's almost like he thinks it's not going to reach him.
I think if we're going to give him a lot of leeway, there was a Bodo Glimt defender that was trying to make a sliding tackle. And yeah, maybe he thought that it wasn't going to reach him, but still, probably no excuse. But Jess, overall, though, a pretty good start. A big opportunity tonight for Kevin Danzo, starting alongside Van der Ven. No Romero. Do we know how... Is that a serious injury?
I'm praying that it's not, and I'm just hoping that Frank is a bit more considerate of injuries and keeping people like Romero safe. But shall I tell you something really funny about Danzo? I heard that Frank at the beginning did throw-in competitions to see who could do the biggest throw-in, and Danzo won that.
Okay.
And literally from the sideline, it's like he's taking a corner.
Because Bergvall's been on doing it, so possibly tonight, Danzo could be taking the long throw, right?
Honestly, I can't wait.
There we go. So we're on throwing watch then in the game in Bodo Glimt. We need to see how long this throw is. Because I thought Bergvall's throws, to be fair, they were a pretty decent trajectory and pace, aren't they?
Bergvall's like a little magician in the middle sometimes, and then the throw-ins have been looking good too. Again, it's almost like they're taking a corner. It's great. Yeah,
well, the long throws are well and truly back in. Did I mention that me and Scott Minter have done a special podcast on the talkSPORT daily app where you can we go through all of the old trends that have just come back into football. I think it's a really, really good listen. Anyway, no one seems to care, do they? Ryan, 10 minutes gone. Galatasaray 0, Liverpool 0. You were having palpitations in our green room, not because Kwaku spilt Percy Pigs, but because you couldn't work out the team or you thought the system. Is it a simple 4-3-3 for Liverpool?
4-2-3-1, I think.
Okay.
But even the formation sheet that I've been given is not what stacks up there. So, just saying, it's not just me who's struggling with the formation. And I know they've got that from a different source.
That is out.
I'll tell you what, poor Jamie.
Work experience.
I know.
They bring you out a team sheet that we never get on the show. And you're digging her out.
I think you're doing a great job, by the way.
That was Jay. That's on Jay.
Honestly.
The book stocks
here for a week, away from university, doing work experience, and you're trying to dig her out.
Trying to bury me here. Look, I think we've looked much brighter, and I think Ekitike has been a large part of that. And it's almost like, we are capable of playing well, lads. I mean, it's just unbelievable that that's possible, isn't it? But they look much sharper, much brighter.
What was that dig to me?
Well, it's not a dig, mate. It's just a recognition of how we've started this game.
5 minutes was against Everton.
In a derby, a Merseyside derby, 12:30 after we played Atletico Madrid, mate, at home. So in our first Champions League game, right? So I don't know if you want to.
I do not subscribe. I don't care if you play Champions. That's what you play football to do, to play midweek games. I don't care if the derby came after Atletico. You guys don't play well this season. You need to face up to it and figure out why.
I will face up to it, mate. Don't you worry. I'm looking squarely at the table right now,
to be fair,
mopping my brow, thinking, goodness me, we could only have played better. We would have been on 18 points rather than 15. What's the matter, you know? When did we ever get to a point in football, honestly, where you cannot lose? You just can't lose anymore.
Yeah.
You can't draw the game, you can't lose a game. I mean, title race has gone by. I mean, it's just mental to me that, you know, you could have one bad game and all of a sudden the team's falling off a cliff. They've not bought well. They've not invested. But I mean, just...
Yeah, but then, to be fair, that's what Arsenal get, right? Every time Arsenal lose, they get that. When they lost against you lot at Anfield...
Yeah, but we're coming off the back of a Premier League title, mate.
Okay.
So, you know.
So with great power comes great responsibility. So when I say that you lot need to win it more than Arsenal, you do, because you're off the back of a Premier League title.
Church, you let me know. Great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, of course, Liverpool are the best team in the land. Of course, Liverpool are amazing. My goodness, the amount of people crawling around on the floor in this studio is... Do you have this at Radio 1?
I'm going to start it. I feel like it's a trend now.
No, all right, cool. Yeah, Chelsea. By the way, Chelsea have gone back to what we were doing in previous games. Slow, ponderous, waiting for the opposition to...
Go on, Ekitike's
through on goal!
Oh, lucky.
Go off the line! Oh, chance here!
I just thought so.
Ekitike got play through on goal, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper does well to come out really quickly, make himself big. Ekitike's finish comes off the goalkeeper. It rebounds to Gakpo's first time shot. Is blocked off the line. It then fell to Wirtz, didn't it?
Yeah.
And he almost in the box just couldn't sort his feet out. And now Galatasaray come on the counter. They go down. They want a penalty, and it's been given. A penalty's been given to Galatasaray. Dominic is Szoboszlai playing a right back here, by the way.
Yeah, that's my point. Look, he's in a number 8 position there.
Yeah. And yeah, so you're right. It's 4-2-3-1 with Frimpong playing on the right and Szoboszlai going the right back.
I said initially.
Yeah, sorry, no, I'm just confirming that. You're in a feisty mood tonight.
He's in a bad mood today.
I'm just confirming. I'm just confirming for people that it is Szoboszlai going the right back, and it's important because this attack comes down the left-hand side. The winger goes on the outside, then looks to come back in. Szoboszlai makes the challenge, and it's look, the right arm catches him. I think it is the right arm. Look at the right arm. As the winger comes back in, the right arm catches him in the face. That's a foul and a penalty.
That is so soft. That's so soft.
It's Yilmaz who does really well. Coming in on the inside, I think the right arm from Szoboszlai is clumsy. It makes contact with him there.
All right, lads, he calms out with you flying elbows.
No, again, I'm showing it for the audience, Ryan. Goodness me. And yeah, it's going to be a penalty. Jess, you think that was a penalty?
It was a bit soft, wasn't it? A little backhand slap.
Is that what we're calling it? Backhand slap?
That's what it felt like. It looked like it.
I like that.
It sent him down, though.
Yeah, it did. I thought there was enough. I'm not surprised that wasn't overturned. I thought...
Really, Sam?
The right, as he comes back in, the right arm catches him like that. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that was given. Anyway, it's going to be Osimhen, isn't it, taking the penalty? Osimhen steps up. He goes down the middle and scores. Alisson goes to his right-hand side. Osimhen goes down the middle. And after losing to Palace on the weekend, Ryan, it's the worst possible start for Liverpool. Actually, I think in the first 50 minutes, have had a couple of decent opportunities, look bright. But is that one of the negatives of, do you think that would Bradley have maybe been that rash and kind of jumped in like that? Or
I think it's a soft pen. I think it all depends. The measure of that question, it all depends on what you think of the penalty. I think that's a soft penalty. I really do.
Yeah. No.
But to be honest with you, in the Champions League, you'd have to be more careful. And it's another thing that you've got to, we've got to ride. I have to say, Alisson is a top keeper, but I never fancy him on penalties. Ever.
That's a tough one, though, isn't it? Because the goalkeeper's going to die.
I fancy him on penalties. He's just such a... Even when Keller was at the club,
Kelly was great.
I'd always think, I'd always want him. He saved one on the weekend, didn't he? I'd always want him sort of in goal for penalties. Not elsewhere, but... and he saved us so many times, Alisson, on Saturday, and in the first part of this game as well. But just seeds momentum. And it's really frustrating that.
A tough start for Liverpool. Victor Osimhen has scored
You're going to have tough patches in seasons. That's what happens.
Galatasaray 1, Liverpool 0. Victor Osimhen from the penalty spot. Harry Kane. How many goals is Harry Kane and Bayern Munich going to score tonight away at Paphos? Harry Kane has given Bayern Munich the lead after 15 minutes. Sheffield United, who picked up their first point and points of the season against Oxford. Chris Wilder's second game picking up a win and leading Southampton this evening by a goal to nil. Tyrese Campbell with the goal. Will still Southampton, just one win in the league this season under real pressure. Marseille have doubled their lead at home to Ajax. Marseille 2, Ajax 0. And they are the latest scores up and down the country and across Europe in the Champions League and EFL. Quaker, was that half a chance there for Benfica a short while ago?
Yeah, they had half a chance. The player who threw on goal hit it straight at Robert Sanchez. Should have been more of the same from Chelsea, really. It's the first 5 minutes were exciting, and I think the atmosphere at Stamford Bridge would be electric, but it settled into a pattern that we're familiar with Chelsea fans. Playing around the back, trying to draw the opposition in and trying to get in behind, but it's not necessarily working against a Jose Mourinho team that are going to set up and try and be difficult to beat, because for him, a draw at Stamford Bridge is a great result. But I just want to see a bit more invention. I want to see somebody try and take on a man. I want to see a spark. But when you haven't got Cole Palmer in the team, you do struggle to get that with Chelsea.
So Chelsea 0, Benfica 0, Bodo Glimt 0, Spurs 0, Galatasaray 1, Liverpool 0 is the only goal chance for Chelsea.
Yes.
And Chelsea do score. It's going to go down as an own goal. It comes from a cross from the right-hand side, which is picked out by Garnacho at the back post. I thought he was possibly it was going to overrun, but Garnacho, the left winger, does really well to get something on it, puts it back across goal with pace, and it bounces off a Benfica player and it goes into the back of the net. So Chelsea 1, Benfica 0. Kwaku, the breakthrough for the home side.
Yeah, breakthrough for the home side. The ball comes in. Who crosses it?
I think Pedro Neto on the right side, isn't it?
He cuts it on his left foot, crosses it. It's a deep cross. It looks like he's overhit it. A good run from Garnacho at the back post where you want to see the other winger. Tries to cross it in the box for Enzo Fernandez, but the Benfica defender gets in the way and puts it into his own net. And 1-0 to Chelsea. We needed that.
Yeah, he did well there, Garnacho, didn't he? Because the ball from Neto comes in real pace. He didn't pick out Fernandez or George in the middle, but Garnacho does really well to slide.
Though.
Yeah, and probably the defender maybe should do better and sort his feet out and clear it. But Jose Mourinho applauding, trying to get his side back in it. Liverpool in the attack. Hugo Ekitike cuts in from the left-hand side. Really good tackle, though. And Liverpool will give away possession. And once again, they come here. The Yilmaz has got space again down this left-hand side. Dominic Szoboszlai is trying to come back. Galatasaray. It looks an open game, doesn't it, right? It looks like Liverpool in that midfielder. Liverpool dominating possession, but it feels like Galatasaray are only 1 or 2 balls away from really cutting through Liverpool.
Yeah, and on a counter, we do look a bit more vulnerable than we did last year. But
what is that?
I think that's him just genuinely putting in. Frimpong's playing. I'm still trying to work out how to play. To be honest, Frimpong is playing. I think
it's a 4-2-3-1
play.
Right, out of possession here. If you look here, it almost looks like it goes to a back 5.
Yeah,
looks like Frimpong there is pretty much alongside. So out of possession, it's a back 5. In possession, interestingly, it's Frimpong playing as a right winger and Szoboszlai right back.
Exactly, and look, we've created a few chances of our own. And Ekitike, I have to say, honestly, he's been the best player on the park so far. Just the general awareness, sharpness. He's playing like he's got that level of arrogance that he can change the game. I would not be surprised whatsoever if he's the reason why we get back into I wouldn't be surprised if he scores the equaliser.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks dangerous. Liverpool actually playing okay in the opening 20 minutes, but are a goal behind. Paphos 0, Bayern Munich 2. Vincent Kompany's side have won all 8 of their matches this season, excluding the Club World Cup. His team are undefeated in their last 15. Bayern have not experienced a loss also in their last 14 away games in Germany and in Europe, emerging victorious 10 times. Also, Leicester as well have their first goal of the evening against Wrexham. Leicester 1, Wrexham 0. Jordan James with the goal for the home side after 26 minutes. Marti Cifuentes seen as I concede first in all but 2 of their league fixtures so far this season, so I'll be happy to see your side take the lead. Benfica here coming forward down the right-hand side. Jess, in terms of Spurs, I'm interested by the midfield. See, I know you can't play the same team game in, game out, but something I have been surprised about is how often João Palhinha doesn't start for Spurs. There has been a few games recently where he hasn't been in the starting 11, and again, away tonight in the Champions League, not in the 11. What do you make of how Thomas Frank's trying to balance his midfield 3?
I think after the last game with Benfica and Paulinho, people were clocking on that partnership just wasn't really working. I think also Sarr coming in and also Bergvall as a definite starter, you kind of want to switch those through. And then, like you said, Paulinho's not necessarily been starting, but he's still been making an impact off the bench. I think there are certain players who can do that and certain players who just play so much better as a starter. I would like to see him come on, though. I'm also kind of trying to see where we're going to get the turnover and where that's going to happen. It all looks quite reserved at the minute, and like Bodo Glimt have loads of the possession. When we do have the possession, it's faster, but then times like that, look, there's like silly mistakes happening. The only spark that I've seen so far is that first cross from Bergvall, and
But it was like that in the home game against Villarreal. There was that bizarre own goal, wasn't it, after like 3 minutes? And then I thought that was one of the worst games of football I've watched. I think, and it was the two sides, including Spurs, which just lacked quality for large parts of the game.
Was it? I can't remember whether it was last season or the season before where we had like the record for the number of times where we come back after a goal. It's almost like to spark into action.
Yeah.
We have to go behind, and that is not a place that any football fan wants to be. It's pretty much where Spurs has been the last few years, and it is just irritating. But I think we're playing quite conservative at the minute. It feels like Bodo Glimt are just kind of playing around us. But I'm just trying to see where that turnover will be. Benfica sits back quite a lot. You got Bergvall and Sarr who could be those players, but then I don't know. People like Romero is so important for those threading those balls through, getting them through to someone on the wing who's fast with pace. But I'm not seeing that yet, and I'm worried that it will be a Bodo Glimt goal, which will spark that, which will be so classic Spurs, but incredibly annoying.
Annoying for you, but hey, if Spark Spurs into life, then who knows? So we're halfway through then our 8 o'clock kickoffs in the Champions League. Atletico Madrid leading Frankfurt by a goal to 0, as Jess was just saying there. Spurs not at their best away at Bodo Glimt, is goalless there. Chelsea 1-0 at home to Benfica. Galatasaray leading Liverpool by a goal to 0. A Victor Osimhen penalty. Inter Milan 0, Slavia Prague 0. Marseille 2-0 at home to Ajax. Bayern 2-0 away at Paphos. Sheffield Wednesday just equalised away at Birmingham. That's 1-1. Blackburn 1-0 at home to Swansea. Bristol City 1, Ipswich 0. Preston 2-0 at Hull. Leicester leading Wrexham by a goal to 0. Goalless between Middlesbrough and Stoke. That's first versus third in the Championship tonight. Sheffield United could go back-to-back wins after losing their first 6. They're 1-0 at home to Southampton. Derby 0, Charlton 0. I should say those Championship games are approaching half-time. Blackpool 1-0 at home to Luton. Cardiff 0, Burton 0 in League One. So Liverpool trailing by a goal to 0 away at Galatasaray. Ryan, how has the response been?
Okay. It's not been brilliant. It's been okay. They're still having plenty of the ball, Liverpool, and trying to work out some patterns, to be honest with you. But they're allowing Galatasaray at times just to, go for the jugular on either flank, and that's frustrating. But I think we get Ekitike in the game a bit more, even Vert in the game a bit more.
Do you think Salah not starting? Is that just a case of chance if Curtis Jones has got space? Frimpong on the right hand side, he's got bodies in the box. He puts the ball across goal, and there was a 3 or 4 plays just queuing up. But a Galatasaray player managed to clear, and Liverpool have got possession once again now with Ryan Gravenberch about 30 yards out into Curtis Jones, who gets to start tonight for Liverpool. He's got Gakpo to his left. He finds Gakpo on the left-hand side, just out of the box. Kirkhead's on the overlap. He cuts in on his right foot. Can he shoot Gakpo? He can, but it's headed away, and it comes back out to the right-hand side to Szoboszlai. Infield to Wirtz. Good pressure from Liverpool. Wirtz into Ekitike. Back to Wirtz. Can Wirtz find that killer pass to Frimpong right-hand side? He tries to go to the byline. It takes I thought that was going to be out for a corner, but nice to bounce back off him. Marseille, a third goal for Marseille at home to Ajax. Marseille 3, Ajax 0. Mason Greenwood with that goal after 26 minutes. With Salah, is it just a case of just he can't play 3 games a week, can you?
Yeah, potentially. And also look at the quality that they've brought in. They've potentially brought in his replacements, haven't they, in a couple of years' time? So, for me,
that was Michael Olise.
Yeah, well, potentially could
so.
Be in the knowing. But I think think he's got to get Salah used to that. He is going to drop him out of games a few more times than he ordinarily would do, because the impact he could have when he comes on as well could be significant. And you want him fresh as well for Stamford Bridge. You know, we've got some important games coming up. If you look at the fixtures that Arsenal have in the next 5 compared to our next 5, I think it's really important that we lay down a bit of a market and we do start to hit that level of consistency. And it might be that they have to try and phase in. You know, they might have to drop back to some of the things that were working so well last year until the new players are fully up to speed, or they can have the impact in the way that we've brought them in to have that impact, you know.
I know you love your kickoff times, don't you, Kwaku? I don't like Chelsea-Liverpool being a Saturday 5:30 game. That is just not right.
What is the logic behind that? I don't.
That doesn't make any. That's a 4:30 on a Sunday.
It's a 4:30 kickoff.
Like 5:30 on a Saturday is just before an international break. Stinky.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And from a completely selfish point of view, finishing here at 5:25. And so I'm going to have to turn my phone off, record it and get home and watch it like that. That's what I'm going to do.
That's some ass, that, isn't it?
No, but what's the alternative, though?
Yeah, what is the alternative?
Are you there?
I am there, yes.
Oh, there we go. Do you get all the Liverpool games then?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that. I'm not, you know, I wouldn't assume. Not somebody that assumes.
I don't know if am I working on Saturday? I don't know.
We can't keep doing this on air. Hey, Jess,
he does do that all the time.
Honestly, you do that on your Radio 1 show.
Every time he's on this show.
You have production meetings on air with your producer.
Yeah,
am I on next Monday's show, am I? Honestly. Lack of professionalism.
That's how you get work in this business, mate. So I'm not working this Saturday.
He doorsteps him every time he gets on this programme.
Honestly. That's how he gets all of his work. Am I doing that? Yeah, great, cool. I'll see you Saturday there.
Well, you just can't say no whilst I'm on air. Cole Palmer sitting in the stands.
What do you think Cole Palmer's thinking right now?
Looks quite cold.
I'm not too sure, man. I'm not too sure. Like
What's he like as a guy? You got to know him in the Club World Cup. Is he as laid back off camera as he is on camera?
He's great. And like I think he doesn't give too much way. Galatasaray through here.
Oh, Kairat does well there. Osman put a good dangerous ball across goal. A Galatasaray player was coming in. It was Gundogan who was coming in behind Kairat, who, to be fair, nonchalantly just eased the ball out, and that's good to see because goodness me, I mean, Kairat's been a really good servant for Liverpool, but he struggled, didn't he, on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
In that first half in particular, he was all over the place, wasn't he?
He's just a B-side centre-back, Frankie, wasn't he?
Well, everyone's a B-side centre-back next to Virgil van Dijk, right?
On that form. You know, he really struggled against Mateta.
Yeah.
But he didn't have that much difficulty. He didn't have the same level of difficulty in the second half at all. You know, so it does show you that if you structure things around a little bit more, and you do tweak things and you make adjustments, that you can limit the impact that, you know, players like Mateta can have on Kairat. But you know, Palace were terrific. Oliver Glasner actually said after that.
That was a bicycle kick there from a Galatasaray
Oliver
player.
Glasner actually said he thought Palace played the best 45 he's seen since he's been there.
I think that's hard to chalk. Chance for Spurs, Bentancur. Johnson, that was, ball fell to him from a corner, goes over. I think that's fair, right? I mean, I don't remember seeing a team have that many great chances against Liverpool in a sort of half an hour spell. Like there were 3 or 4 kind of, you know, going to XG. XG would have been 3 or 4-0 after half an hour, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's terrific. And that just shows you Alisson's impact in that as well. You know, and when you are having tough parts of the season, you're going to need big players to bail you out, you know. And you saw actually against Newcastle, Gabriel, who made a mistake in the first half, came back and scores the winner, doesn't he? You know, and as an impact on the game. So we do need that. And we'll need that more than most as well, as new players are starting to bed him.
Nicholas Jackson isn't playing for Chelsea tonight. He's playing for Bayern Munich tonight, and he just scored Bayern Munich's 3rd goal. That Bayern Munich 3 up now away at Paphos. Swansea, by the way, equalised as well away at Blackburn. That for me, I think, is the strangest signing of the summer. I'm just.
Well, it's strange for Chelsea going into a Champions League game. Tyreek George starting up top. Yeah, it does. Yeah. It does just seem baffling, and that Liam Delap injury has really cost us. And people, we can talk about the centre back and the goalkeeper, but Chelsea don't really have a fit striker, and that's an issue if you want to win major trophies. João Pedro's, I think, is a fantastic player, but not necessarily a number 9.
Wirtz with half a chance for Liverpool.
On the spin.
Wirtz on the spin, beating away at the. What was that, Kwaku?
He's always on the spin. Like, I think he just needs to just put his foot on it. And
he just needs to calm down.
Calm down a little, because he's an amazing player, but just sometimes he'll try a flick or he'll just try and make it a bit too perfect. And I think there's such a good player in there.
How young he is. Just figure out how young the lad is. He's 22, isn't he?
Is that young in modern football? That's not young anymore.
Well, I mean, if you want to put it in that concept, I'm just saying in general, you know.
I'm not arguing with you, mate. I'm just saying that 22 young in football.
Oh, chop for Kirkes! Close range! Ekitike! Oh, that's right clear. Liverpool
sort themselves out. There's no communication there.
Yeah,
Gelling.
Galatasaray don't clear a corner. And there was a couple of Gakpo and Ekitike had a go at it, and in the end they managed to clear. Kirkes it was, and then it was Ekitike. But Liverpool have had a really good, decent spell of possession. I'll tell you what, Jess, Bodo Glimt, every time I'm looking down that bottom right-hand corner, Bodo Glimt are giving it to Spurs, aren't they? They're coming forward.
We had a good cross from Porro just a second ago, and Lucas Bergvall was so close, but just didn't quite make the header.
Go on.
But yeah, it's the turnover that's getting us, and Vicario's not filled everyone with the most amount of confidence recently, but that was good.
Vicario's Sam's least favourite keeper.
Favourite.
Sorry, I think he's given Bodo Glimt the penalty here.
Has he?
Yeah. Wow. So there was a cross that came in from the left-hand side, and Rodrigo Bentancur throws himself to the ground to try and make the challenge. He doesn't get anything on the ball. And I think the referee pointed to... I think he has. I think he's given a penalty to Bodo Glimt. It did look a silly challenge to make, going to ground like that.
I need to see it again. Here we go.
Here we go.
They never normally give them.
No, see, I thought the exact... If that was outside the box, it's an instant foul. But inside the box, then when you try and make a sliding clear or tackle
the ball's
from
gone.
A shot, something like that, they don't get given. That's why I was a bit surprised. I think he's given a penalty. Have I gone crazy here?
Hang on.
It's a penalty check.
Well, they'll give it.
Penalty.
Well, they'll give it.
But the thing is, cross comes in, he gets nothing on the ball and takes out the player. So you probably have to say it's a foul.
How many times do you see when the player has a shot, the shot goes over, he gets taken out because he's had the shot, they don't give it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is a I'll do my Vicario rant in a sec, by the way. I still want to do that, by the way. But he has given. I mean, Jess, any complaint? It was a silly tackle to make from Bentancur, I thought.
No, it is silly, but you're right. Like, this is just so unfair. But maybe this is the turnaround that we need.
This is not a glass half full way of looking at going 1-0 down, isn't it? There we go. So it's a Vert. Can he get a shot away? Can he get a shot away? He can. See it again. Quick. I possibly thought he could have hit that on his right foot instead of trying to come back. So the Bodo Glimt got the ball on the penalty spot. Vicario's now going to say this penalty, isn't he?
He will. I actually think he will save it.
Vicario pulls through.
And yeah, Spurs have just lacking a bit of control in this game away to Bodo Glimt. Harry Kane's got a second goal for Bayern Munich. You could do with him tonight, couldn't you?
Of course he has.
4 up away at Paphos. That could get messy, by the way.
That could be double figures.
Yeah, no, it really, really could be. Although when teams go 6-7 up, they take their foot on the gas. Penalty here for Bodo Glimt. Vicario in goal. And Vicario, oh goodness me, it's a terrible penalty. Oh no.
God.
Why couldn't Osherman done that?
Oh my God.
Testing us.
Over the bar.
And then you make Vicario screaming like he saved it.
Vicario.
It's as good as a save. I'll take it.
That is a pathetic penalty. Blazed over the bar.
Didn't go the right way either, did he?
That is shocking penalty. You've gone down the middle and you've blazed it over.
You know when rugby players try and score a conversion?
Yeah, it's like that. It's like
the way he steps up and wraps his foot under that ball. It's like he's at Twickenham trying to do a Johnny Wilkinson.
That was terrible.
Producer Jamie's gone big in my ear. Worst penalty he's ever seen, he's just said.
That was shocking.
I mean, that's a hot take. Worst penalty he's ever seen, he's just said. You'll take it. You don't care, do you?
That's crazy.
No, it has.
Okay, now we're about to play. This is
there we go.
The turning point that you called for,
this
right?
This is the turning point.
But also,
I'm here for it.
that pen is a shambles, isn't it?
Yeah, that's shambolic, man. Go on, Chelsea.
Chelsea on the attack, so it's going to stay goalless then in the Bodo Glimt Spurs game. Chelsea 1 up at home to Benfica. Quaker, have Chelsea gone since going 1-0 up?
Yeah, we've controlled the game. We're a better side than Benfica, but it doesn't really matter because we just seem to throw games away. So I just want us to see it through till half time. Just see it through, try and get another goal, manage the game. I want to see some maturity. You're in the Champions League, manage the game. What I will say, a player that I've criticised quite a lot recently, Enzo Fernandez. The pace of game in the Champions League suits him. Like, it's a little bit slower. It's a little bit more deliberate. You have time to put your foot on the ball. The opposition will give you time. There's not as much high pressing. And in this kind of system, in this kind of game, he looks really, really at home and comfortable. And I think that's why we see the best of Enzo Fernandez in those cup competitions, like the Club World Cup or like at the World Cup for Argentina, where the games are a little bit slower, he's got a bit more time to think. In the up and out in Premier League, where you've got to be physical, you've got to be quick, you've got to be strong, he lacks a little bit in that department or those departments. But in the Champions League, he's looking right at home.
We've got some half-times coming into us then in the Championship. Birmingham 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Birmingham are unbeaten in the last 28 home league games, but of course most of those came last season in League 1. Blackburn 1, Swansea 1. Swansea have drawn 2 and lost 1 of their last 4 games. They had won 5 of their previous 7 while avoiding defeat. Bristol City, Jamie, Bristol City 1, Ipswich 0. Must be a happy man. There we go. I think you're actually crawling on the floor in here when Bristol City scored that goal. Bristol City starting the evening 4th in the table, made a fast start to their campaign. Though perhaps a little bit concerned about a slight road bump. They did lose a shock home defeat to Oxford last week, and they backed that up with a draw at Preston the weekend just gone. That ended 0-0. Bristol City beating Ipswich by 1-0 at half-time. It's Hull 0, Preston 2. Preston 6th in the table after finishing 20th last season, flying away at Hull 2 up. Hull going to the evening 18th in the table. Leicester, a team that many people are tipping for promotion this season, are beating Wrexham by 1-0. Wrexham have never won in 6 previous league meetings with Leicester. We've also got Middlesbrough 0, Stoke 0. That's a game at the top of the Championship, first versus third, as one of 2 unbeaten sides in the second tier. Middlesbrough got lots of momentum going into the game this evening, especially as they are the only team with a 100% home record in the Championship this season. But they have to score in the second half if that's to continue. Goalless there. Sheffield United, having lost their first 6 games of this season, could go back-to-back wins under Chris Wilder. They won at Oxford on the weekend. They're 1 up at home to Southampton. Will Seal, just 1 win this season for them. Southampton 19th in the table. And Charlton, who've had a really good start to the season after winning promotion from League 1 last season, 7th in the table and beating struggling Derby by 1-0. That one not half-time yet. 5 minutes to go in that game. All the other games are at half-time. In League 1 at half-time, Blackpool 1 up at home to Luton, Cardiff 0, Burton 0. Ryan, and Liverpool coming close to equalising away at Galatasaray?
Well, I don't know if they're coming close. They've always got a quality in them, mate. So, it only takes a passage of play to change it. But they're creating chances, just not that sustained wave just yet. They've had a few opportunities. Probably should have done better with a few of those opportunities. Kairat had a header like he did against Palace that he nods wide, and he's a little bit unfortunate. So.
What have you made of the Dominic Szoboszlai playing a right back? A little bit different. I know he's done it before this season and did it well, particularly in that game against Newcastle. Yeah. But a bit of a surprise to see him playing a right back tonight.
But yeah, potentially, yeah. And I think in terms of his pace, that helps in a game like this, and his recovery pace and the power that he has when he's running with the ball. All of those things are big. And actually, we played our best football when he went to right back against Palace on Saturday. So I think maybe there's an element of that to his thinking again, seeing what works, what doesn't. I think there's a little bit of testing and teasing out what doesn't work, to be honest with you. That's a good ball in.
Yeah, really good ball from Kirkes, which Galatasaray do clear. I think Virgil van Dijk, was he offside or was given a foul? Virgil van Dijk made a late run around the back post, but the referee, I think, has blown for a foul. So Galatasaray 1, Chelsea 0. Liverpool 0. Quaker, what was that? Was that a sigh from you, or was that you, Ryan? Sorry.
No,
was that you, Ryan? Yeah. Sorry, mate. Sorry, Quaker. You weren't sighing.
No, I wasn't sighing.
You a happy Spurs fan so far?
I was the one sighing in the corner.
It was you?
Yeah, it was me.
Third time lucky.
Yeah, Bodo Glimt, I'm hoping are getting all their energy out by getting their shots off target right now, because they've had far more than we have. Ooh. Looks like they're going to have another one. Oh,
they got a chance here down the left-hand side. Tries to pick out a player at the back post. It was just over hit. But again, on a couple of occasions, Bodo Glimt on the counter-attack have found space, but just at the moment lacking any real conviction. What's Jose Mourinho doing here, Kwaku? Why is he halfway up the touchline?
Jose.
What is he doing? Look where he is. What is he doing?
He runs Stamford Bridge, mate. He can do what he wants.
Is that why you booed him last time he came back to Stamford Bridge?
I wasn't there booing him. I'd never boo him.
I'm not sure how he found himself halfway up the halfway line.
He's got history in terms of running up touchlines, so he can.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
is that right?
Winning trophies, with winning big games. Oh, I miss those times.
This is a left field question to throw your way.
Yeah.
Is there any way you think we could see Jose Mourinho back in the Premier League?
In the Premier League, yeah. In the Premier League, yes. At Chelsea, unlikely. If you were to put me
Not under this new ownership, right?
No, but if you were to put me on lie detector test and say, Quaker, do you want Jose Mourinho back? I think if I said no, the detector would go off. Like, I love the man more than anything.
Do you still think now in 2025 he would be the right kind of fit?
Of course not. Of course not.
But it's from an emotional point of view.
From an emotional point of view, like I've said this multiple times, Zola's my favourite footballer, but Jose's my favourite man in football. He's everything. He shapes the way that I view football, which is, for rightly or wrongly, is how I think about football and how I look at football. But he was the man that was instrumental to that.
Well, do you know what's frustrating a little bit about it, if he wanted to see Jose back in the Prem, is he had his chance, didn't he? Forest have just got rid of Nuno, and the same with West Ham with Potter, and they've replaced him with Nuno. I just would have thought, maybe they were the two destinations and the clubs that he might have went to.
Mourinho Marinakis would have been a match made in hell.
It just would have been box office though, wouldn't it?
I was thinking Mourinho and West Ham as well just feels...
What, right or wrong?
No, wrong. I don't know why. Then again, I'm not really sure what is right for West Ham at this moment in time, and I'm not sure...
Oh, their fans don't know either.
No.
Appreciate Nuno, West Ham fans, because when he gets you into Europe, but the football's not what you want, don't start crying and say you want to see the West Ham way, because we'll see how that turned out for you.
Yeah, quite right.
Oh my God.
That's a big miss.
Is that another chance of Bodo Glimt?
Bodo Glimt are dominating.
Yeah, they are.
Straight
They're
over the bar
dominating.
again.
They're absolutely dominating.
Yep.
Spurs are on the ropes here.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah, it's a cross on the right, which Spurs don't claim. Goodness me. From a few yards out, first time shot blazed over the bar. I mean, that's almost as bad as the penalty, isn't it? Which went yards over the bar. Really, really poor effort. And Spurs have got away with that. But, I mean, so, Jess, Spurs' best performance of the season, correct me if I'm wrong, is obviously probably City away, right? But aside from City away, in terms of the quality of performances, have you seen enough? It looks like in a couple of games, like the Wolves game you were struggling, Bournemouth at home you were really, really poor. It feels like it has been a struggle at times.
All the home games have been an absolute struggle. I feel like we've won 3 out of the last 17 was the stat, which is abysmal, and it feels like, well, I was going to say we play better away, but right now that's not the case. We're currently playing like a team of people who've never played together, and that's not okay. I think we started all right, and it feels exciting, especially with a new manager who's got everyone on side, like we were saying earlier. And we've got an amazing group of individual players. I think they're like young, hopeful, exciting, even like Xavi. But last game he didn't deliver. He's not on the pitch right now, and I don't know what's happening. I feel like our chances have come with Bergvall at the minute. But right now, Bergvall's not seen much of the ball. In fact, actually, Spurs haven't seen much of the ball.
Yeah, every time I'm looking down at that bottom right screen,
there is no control over this game whatsoever.
No, not at all. And again, if it wasn't for that terrible penalty miss, Spurs could find themselves one down. But I guess from the bench, I think Kuda's coming off the bench, with tired legs in the last 20 minutes or so, just gives.
I'm not sure who the leader is on this team that's currently on. Porro was the captain against Doncaster, and then we've got Van de Ven tonight. And they're both great players. Do I see them as captain? I'm not sure. Do
you get to go to many Spurs games?
I go to as many as I can.
Yeah, work depending.
But work is I'm mostly in music. I don't normally talk about football.
Oh, really? How are you
finding
it?
Tweet about football.
Oh, really? Are you a keyboard warrior?
Yeah.
And you did Inside Spurs yesterday as well?
I did.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that was fun. Madge also DJ, so like... I feel like
is that the DJ link
DJ
there?
connection, yeah. You know what? I play hockey, so I'm a hockey gal. But I did play football for my uni for a short time.
What uni?
Newcastle Uni.
Oof, long way to go.
Long way to go. Went as far as I could while staying in the country. It was good. And you know what? Geordie life's great. Shearer Bar, even better.
The what?
The Shearer's Bar.
Oh, show. Well, was that a plug for Shearer's Bar? Is that loud? I mean, that's outrageous stuff, isn't it?
I thought it was good. But look, that's where we started our.
That's free drinks for you at Shearer's Bar next time you're up there, right? Happy days.
Yeah. No, I feel like sport. I broke my ankle when I was playing hockey a couple of years ago. Then I just started tweeting about football endlessly, and then invited to talk about it somehow. But mostly I'm talking music on air.
That's good. That's also fun. We say here at talkSPORT, this is much better than a proper job, which we think's true, don't we? Although Ryan, I think right now, by the look on your face, wishes you were doing a proper job because it's been a struggle. Not a struggle for Liverpool, but it's just
started with all of the hallmarks of this is going to be a bounce back performance, and then all the energy's just been popped by that penalty. To be honest with you, and then when we started to build momentum, there's been a silly foul. Or there's been a foul that maybe wasn't a foul, it was a free kick that's been given away, and it just halts all of that. That's what we're just playing into their hands a little bit at the moment. I feel like with the openness in the game, we should be capitalising on this so much. We've got the tools to really hurt them with that amount of space. And if they continue, I don't know if they will do this in the second half, but if they play in the same way in the second half, I've got a feeling that Slot will get them in a half time, maybe introduce a body
Salah needs like a decent option off the bench as well, aren't they, right?
Yeah, ideal, aren't they? They're very ideal.
So we've got half-times then coming in our 8 o'clock games in the Champions League. Bodo Glimt 0, Spurs 0 is a half-time score. Spurs back at the ground where, of course, they beat Bodo Glimt to get through to the Europa League final. Paulo so far this evening, Bodo Glimt missing a penalty as well. We got a minute to go in Galatasaray and it's nearly half-time at Stamford Bridge. In fact, I think the referee there is just blown for half-time. So Chelsea go in 1-up at home to Benfica. Jose storms down the tunnel, wagging his finger, not happy about something. Chelsea 1, Benfica 0, an own goal there. Atletico Madrid have got a third goal at home to Frankfurt. So they've scored, 5 against Madrid on the weekend, just gone 3 this evening. Antoine Griezmann with the third goal for the clumsy.
It looks close.
Right on the stroke of half-time. Ryan, what happened in Turkey?
Well, Soboslai looks like he gets just before this. So the 2 passages of play. The first one, just before this, Soboslai looks like he gets absolutely floored in the first move. Nothing was given. He was allowed to continue the attack into the box. Then they have a shot that gets deflected. And then Gravenberch, usually
you don't see him giving it away very often, do you?
In those positions, deep inside his own half. Looks to try and manoeuvre a way out of danger, create some space in the middle, gets caught by Osimhen with quite a heavy touch. He's been fairly slack at times today in this first half. And then Osimhen wins a free kick, which is in point-blank range, just outside the edge of the area in the D.
Yeah, I tell you what, though.
It's not ideal.
You don't often see Gravenberch giving the ball away there.
No.
And also, fortunate that it wasn't an extra step forward, because it would have been a penalty. This
Small
is
mercies.
literally right outside the box.
Small mercies.
Probably, sorry?
Small mercies.
What does that mean?
Well, in terms of we're not in an ideal situation. We could have been in a
much worse situation. Yeah, exactly.
So small mercies.
Look at it.
Sorry?
Good way to look at it.
No, there we go. This is one of those where, because it's right on the edge of the box, it looks like it's towards the right-hand side outside the box, Quaku. It looks like this is the left footer has got to try and wrap it goalkeeper. I think it's hard to get this over the wall and down.
Just hit it as hard as you can.
Towards the goalkeeper.
Yeah, towards the goalkeeper. Just hit it as hard as you can.
I agree. This is it will take some effort to get it up and down the wall.
It's a big wall as well.
It's the big wall, yeah. Van Dijk, Ekitike, Canate are big lads, so. The camera angle there.
The camera angle, by the way.
The best camera angle.
To be honest with you, I have no idea what happened there, because the camera angle, I think somebody hasn't put the right camera angle there. The most important thing is they haven't scored. Well, I think they might be appealing for a handball. It wasn't the best of free kicks. It bounced off a Liverpool player. The referee hasn't blown for half-time yet, despite us being in the 5th minute of 3 added on. Ilkay Gundogan is talking to the referee, and I think he's talking about a possible handball. They do try and drill it goalkeeper's side. It takes a bounce off a Galatasaray player.
They're going to give that shortly.
Sorry, where's the handball?
Who's handball?
Whose hand did it come off?
Up into his...
Where's the handball there, Quaker?
It's half time. Is he blew the whistle?
I can't even see a handball.
Half time.
He's going to give that. No, he's not. Half time. Galatasaray won.
Willing it into existence. That's
I'm not sure that was a handball. So, the English side, some good, some not so good. One are winning, one are drawing, one are losing. Galatasaray beating Liverpool by a goal to 0. Chelsea beating Benfica by a goal to 0. Bodo Glimt 0, Spurs 0. We'll take a very quick break on talkSPORT goals. Let's get ourselves a nice cup of tea. No Percy Pigs. Quick, drop them on the floor. We're back in a couple of minutes' time. Yeah, hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. It's brought to you by Final One Standing New from William Hill, 18 Plus, gamblerware.org. Terms and conditions apply. It's Sam Ellard, Ryan Bromelo, Kwaku Afari and Jess is out to watching Champions League football. We love the Champions League, don't we? Scores on the doors then at half-time. Atletico Madrid 3, Frankfurt 0. Spurs are drawing at Bodo Glimt. Chelsea 1-up at home to Benfica. Liverpool playing okay, but losing away at Galatasary. Victor Osimhen penalty. Inter Milan 2-up at home to Slavia Prague. Marseille 3, Ajax 0. Bayern Munich are 4-1 up away at Paphos. They are absolutely cruising. We are back on the way in the second half in the Championship games, by the way. Hull City pulled a goal back home to Preston. Oliver McBurney scoring that. That's Hull 1, Preston 2. Kwaku, Chelsea beating Benfica by 1-0. What have you made of your side's first half performance?
Yeah, so. We've seen this before. We've seen Chelsea take leads in games and not hold it. Like most recently, the game against Brighton on the weekend. So I just want to see control in the second half. I don't care if we score another goal, but if we can manage the game and win this game 1-0, then it'll show me some maturity for a team that is still quite young. But I just want to see some game management, some nous, some maturity. And if I see that in the second half, even if we don't score another goal, I'll be happy.
Yeah, right. Thoughts on Liverpool? 1 down away at Galatasaray. I think good going forward, but a little bit concerned on a couple of occasions on the counter-attack. Galatasaray really enjoyed some joy. Enjoyed some joy?
Got
some joy?
Yeah,
I think I know what I mean.
They got some joy. I mean, we're still starting to see, we're still seeing some of the problems that we've had so far this year in terms of defending that type of turnover. I think the penalty was soft. I do, to be honest.
I think it's a penalty, Ryan.
I think, do you?
Yeah, no, I do, mate.
I don't.
No, I think, mate, that right hand catches him. It's a rash right arm, which does.
Which one?
He does throw it back.
One.
He does chuck it back, doesn't he?
You
can't get away with that.
I think that is a foul.
I just feel like you see that.
He has to go in with his left arm and then the right arm. Look at the right arm, the way it just comes out.
But think about I just don't think that's a pen, mate. Like, I'd love to sit here and say that's a pen. I think that's a game against Chelsea. I'm fuming.
Maybe because it's a slap.
It's a slap.
It's a back slap as well.
It's a bit more embarrassing. So it's in HDTV.
Maybe it's just a little bit of that.
It's more of a head than it's more. He does come in with some momentum, doesn't he?
I don't know.
I feel like you go down. That all the
no,
time.
probably not. But there still is. We see this all the time. Players always go down when they. You'd want.
No, if he doesn't go down, it doesn't get given.
That's true.
Right?
But you want your player though to go down in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he was tussling with a player and he was still standing up and he hit him with that level of force.
But you want to fight tonight, don't you, Ryan?
No, but Sam, Sam.
I think that's a foul.
To be fair, it's soft, but I think if it didn't get him in the face, then I think it's not a penalty. But because it literally smacked him in the face, you can't get away with doing that. Not in HDTV.
I agree with you.
But say it hits him in the chest. Is that a pen?
I think if you're going to try and make a challenge and your right arm comes out like that and makes contact with someone, I think it's...
Okay, so say he makes contact with his chest. Is that a penalty?
Yes, mate.
I just wondered if there's an element of, like, when you say a foul inside the box, is it a foul inside the box? If it occurred outside
I just think that's a foul, my opinion. I just think it's a foul. If that's against...
I feel like you see that all the time.
Yeah, I think it's so silly. It's because he goes in with his left arm and then it's literally his back arm that has to go all the way around.
But I can see why it's being given in the Champions League, because it does feel like they've got a lower threshold. Even with handballs, it
is
takes.
A penalty then.
No, I said I can see why it's being given, Sunshine.
I'm not too sure.
Ipswich have levelled away at Bristol City. Bristol City 1, Ipswich 1, a Jack Clark penalty. Sheffield United 1, Southampton 1. Very briefly before we break, Jess, when's the next gig? When are you next DJing, and can we come?
Oh, I'm next DJing on Halloween. At Motion in Bristol.
Motion's
in Bristol.
Yeah.
He produced no Motion.
Oh, he's got a season ticket in there, hasn't he?
But all welcome.
Yeah.
Come on the guest list. Yeah.
Oh, you mean that?
Yeah.
When's the next
Percy
one?
Pigs on the rider.
Oh, very good.
When's bad is it? With these requests on it?
I haven't got a date in London at the minute. You just missed my fabric set.
That's
nice.
What sort of music do you play? Is it
Yeah, literally. It sounds just like that, actually. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying, can you do stuff that I can sing along to, or is it more like those sort of nightclubs?
Yeah, I got some fun edits.
Yeah.
Play a little cheeky, sexy back edit. You can sing along to that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So when I'm at night, I like to sing to songs.
Okay.
Not just that's my personal taste.
Do you make music as well?
No, I listen to it.
Okay. Good. And sing along to it then.
I love singing along to
Karaoke.
it. I love karaoke.
What's your karaoke song?
Oh, all the cheesy stuff, Mr. Brightside, Take That, Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift. When I go out, I want to listen to music and be able to sing along to it. That's just, whereas I bet you're a bit different, aren't you? You might be, I reckon you're more me.
Oh, yeah. I've got an eclectic taste when it comes to music.
Huh?
I've got an eclectic taste.
Yeah, I bet you do.
That's what
His music's like his jorts.
Oh, my jorts. What? Hit and miss.
Awful. We're approaching 9 o'clock. Second half games are about to get underway. We're taking one more quick break. Then we're taking you through the second half action on talkSPORT Goals. And a very good evening and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals, brought to you by Final One Standing, new from William Hill, 18+, gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply. Champions League half-time, Liverpool 1 down away at Galatasary. The epic boost from William Hill, Liverpool, Chelsea and Spurs, all to score in the second half, was 9-4, now 5-2. That's Liverpool, Chelsea and Spurs, all to score in the second half. That is the epic boost, thanks to our friends at William Hill, although our friends Lee Phelps obviously doesn't fancy Champions League nights, does he, by the way?
No.
Just a bit of a Premier League glory hunter. Big Champions League nights. He'll probably pipe up for the quarterfinals, won't he?
Yeah, definitely.
I know he's watching, Phelpsy. Good evening, mate. Hope all is good. 2 results in the Champions League. Atalanta beat Club Brugge by 2-1. Kylian Mbappe scored a hat-trick as Real Madrid won 5-0 away at Kairat. Atletico Madrid, who beat Real Madrid, scoring 5 goals on the weekend, cruising at home to Eintracht Frankfurt. They're 3-0 up. Spurs have been poor in the first half away at Bodo Glimt. Goalless there. All these games just getting underway in the second half. Chelsea are leading Benfica by 1-0. Chelsea have won all 4 of their competitive meetings with Benfica, and Chelsea are currently on their longest ever losing streak in the Champions League. 3 games but that could change this evening. 1-up at home to Benfica. Liverpool lost to Palace on Saturday, losing again this evening. 1-0 away to Galatasaray. Liverpool are winners in their previous 2 away trips to Galatasaray. That could extend to 3. Inter Milan are cruising at home to Slavia Prague. They are 2-0 up in that game. Inter Milan, of course, last season's Champions League finalists, hammered at home, or hammered in the final by PSG. They did, though, kick off this campaign with a win away at Ajax, 2-0. Marseille are 3-up at home to Ajax. Elsewhere, Bayern Munich 4-1 up away at Paphos. Of course, Bayern Munich still waiting for another slice of European glory. Many of their fans say it's gone on for way too long, having failed to conquer the continent since beating PSG behind closed doors in 2020. Since then, suffering 4 quarter-final exits and 1 semi-final elimination in the last 5 years. Harry Kane has 2 goals this evening for Bayern Munich away at Paphos. Nicholas Jackson also on the score sheet. In the Championship, these games have got an hour gone. Birmingham 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Blackburn 1, Swansea 1. Ipswich just equalised away at Bristol City. That's 1-1. Hull have scored a goal back at home to Preston, 2-1. Leicester still 1-up at home to Wrexham. First versus third is Borough Stoke. That's goalless. Southampton turned things around away at Sheffield United. They were 1-0 down. They now lead by 2-1. A brace by Ross Stewart. So Sheffield United 1, Southampton 2. That'll be a massive 3 points for Will Steele. Will Steele still be in charge? See what I did there?
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, it's been done before on Twitter, hasn't it? Well, it will help if they can beat Sheffield United, and they're doing so far this evening, away by 2-1. And Nathan Jones, well, I think he's a real character. His Charlton side continue to march on. 1-up away at Derby in League One. Blackpool 2, Luton 0, Cardiff 0, Burton 0. Out of interest, Kwaku, how do you think Bayern Munich have got? I'm fascinated by their situation because 5 years looking for that Champions League. The manager, raised eyebrows and Vincent Kompany went over there. But you look at that team on paper, they are stacked, aren't they? Certainly offensively in terms of quality.
Yeah, they are stacked. And bear in mind, Musiala's out for an extended period of time, but he'll be back before the end of the season, hopefully. It was a catastrophic injury for him. But yeah, they're always going to be there or thereabouts, Bayern Munich. But for a team for a club that's so huge, 5 years will feel like a long, long time. And like you said, the last time won Champions League was behind closed doors. Didn't really get to celebrate it in the manner they would have liked. But they've got such a strong team. They've got arguably the best striker in the world in Harry Kane, who started the season on fire, by the way. He's absolutely killing it in the Bundesliga, the fastest ever player to reach 100 goals for a single club in Europe's top 5 leagues. He's got everything, and if he can cap it off in terms of winning the Champions League with Bayern Munich this season, then I wouldn't be surprised to see him go elsewhere, because he's a man that I think doesn't get the credit he deserves. He's one of the greatest strikers of all time. The goal scoring record tells you that. He just hasn't got the accomplishments to go with it. And if you think about some of those finals that he's played in and hasn't showed up in, that's what you can hold against Harry Kane. But in terms of goal scoring, week in, week out, doesn't matter the club, doesn't matter the situation, he will turn up. And I think capping off with a major European trophy or something major for England will make people recognise how good he is, because Wayne Rooney was on the podcast talking about strikers this generation, and Harry Kane is probably like the only English one that you can say is of a level of the greats of the past. He is England's all-time top goal scorer, England's captain, been England's most successful captain in the modern era. I just want to see him win a major trophy, because I feel like even for fantasy sport teams, the Liverpool game is very open end to end. But in terms of Harry Kane and what he's done in football, he doesn't get the acclaim. And I think as a football fan who wants to see players do well, I'd love to see him win major silverware at Bayern Munich.
Do you think part of that is like the way he approaches it? He kind of gets the job done. He's not like out there in terms of media. He kind of, even though he knows he's not the speediest player, he'll go away and he'll practice literally everything else that he can. Yeah,
I think it's personality as well, right? And somebody posed a question, it's like, what career would you rather have? Didier Drogba, who won all the trophies, but goal scoring was here and there, was probably like a 1 and 2 striker, but in the biggest games he turned up and won the biggest trophies? Or would you want to be Harry Kane, where you've scored all the goals in the world, you've broken so many records when it comes to goal scoring, but the trophy cabinet doesn't quite match up? And I would rather be Didier Drogba, right? Because football's all about winning trophies. And Harry Kane maybe falls into the bracket of a Steven Gerrard, where obviously Gerrard's got the Champions League and he's got the FA Cup final, which he won almost single-handedly. But it's just, I think...
Does it make them not more beloved, though, because it's a selfless act that that Kane's almost done. Not to play for Tottenham for so long, but in the sense that he knows that he's not competing at that highest level year in, year out.
I would argue that if he had stayed at Spurs for his whole career, Steven Gerrard feels like a more self-sack because he's from Liverpool, he stayed at Liverpool, and he could have gone anywhere. He was the best midfielder in the world for a good number of years. But I think winning that Champions League in 2005 and then the FA Cup the following year kind of just cemented his legacy, and everything he did was selfless, and he did put the club before his own career, and he could have won all the trophies in the world at Real Madrid or Inter Milan or Chelsea even, but he stayed at Liverpool. With Harry Kane, it's a bit different. He went away to win the trophies, and from some Spurs fans' point of view, that was viewed as selfish.
I don't think so.
No?
I'm happy for him as long as he comes back.
If he doesn't come back,
he needs to come back.
If he doesn't come back, what's your view on it?
He will, because he could be Shearer's record in. I reckon if you join the right team, he could do it in one season.
No,
one and a half. Okay. 1.5. I think it'd be 1.5. But the thing is, he needs to come back in the right circumstances.
FBTK is just trying to back.
And Bodo Glimt have scored against Spurs! Bodo Glimt won!
Get in there!
Too busy speaking about a player that isn't at Tottenham.
We need there.
How Spurs could
Someone that we need there.
How Spurs could do with a player of Harry Kane's quality this evening. Bodo Glimt, you'd have to say, were the better of the two sides in the first half. Play right through Spurs' midfield. Way too much space outside the box.
Were the only team playing in the first half, personally.
And it's a lovely finish. Is that Jorge who has the ball on the right-hand side. He's up against Pedro Porro. He just shifts in, sends Porro for a hot dog, and then curls the ball past Vicario. Jess, you'd have to say it's a lovely finish, and you have to say that's what Bodo Glimt deserves. Spurs have been really poor.
Yeah.
And Chelsea Benfica! Oh, they should score! Oh, they should score. They work it really well down the left-hand side. They get played through on goal. And to be fair to Sanchez, he gets that well and denies the Benfica attack. And that remains Chelsea 1, Benfica 0. But just back to the Bodo Glimt game. Spurs not playing well.
I think this is further proving everyone's thought process that Porro is not an out-and-out defender. I think he's... this is just a disaster, to be honest.
Off the back of drawing with Wolves, you're losing away at Bodo Glimt. Spurs doing Spurs things. Doesn't matter the manager. It's just...
I feel like the half-time talk was not enough. There seemed to be a bit more fire going into the second half, but clearly not paying off.
Well, I think we're going to see Kudus and Xavi Simons sooner rather than later with Spurs 1-0 down.
We need it now.
Yeah. 53 gone this. So Bodo Glimt are leading Spurs by a goal to nil. Spurs do have a free kick, though, on the left-hand side. Pedro Porro, I'm guessing, is going to be the one to whip this in with his right foot. Esteval on for Chelsea, by the way. Buonanotte has come off. Pedro Porro does whip it in. Comes off the post. Back out to Johnson, and Spurs equalise.
Okay.
Bodo Glimt 1, Spurs 1. No. It's come from a free kick from the left-hand side.
It's a relief clap.
Bentancur.
Yeah, it's a really great, dangerous ball whipped in from Porro. It evades everyone and nearly goes in the far post. It comes off the post. I think Johnson tries to kind of those short crosses, and Rodrigo Bentancur's in the right place at the right time. And from close range, just a lovely, lovely flick, Jess. And, there we go. You won. But to be fair, you have said all show that when you go behind, you do then start to do well, which has been proved literally correct. Stress
levels high, but faith in that fact and that fact only. Oh, okay. Now we're in.
Yeah, so it takes it well, doesn't he, Quaker, as well? So kind of, he has to react to that quite quickly inside the box, Rodrigo Bentancur.
Nice little flick from Bentancur and checking it.
Oh, what are they checking for here, by the way?
Not too sure.
Because that was a ball that got whipped in. It came off the post. Johnson came from the first time shot cross. So was there an offside in the original kind of free kick? The referee, by the way, is going to the screen. Now, all four of us here don't know what he's going to have a look at. The only thing I could think of is there must have been an offside when the ball got whipped in from Pedro Porro and a couple of players went for the headers. Was there? Then he wouldn't go to the screen, would he, for an offside? No.
So I don't know what he's checking.
I'm literally, that doesn't make any sense. It's gone for Van der Ven there on number 4. Van der Ven yanks him back.
But it's...
I'll tell you what. Do you know what? Van der Ven doesn't need to do that because this ball is whipped in with so much pace and accuracy. This number 4 is going to get nowhere near it anyway. We might have a chance to clear it.
That is nothing.
But it's one of those. I don't get why risk it? Because it's a foul. He has hold of his shirt. It has to be a free kick. What I don't get is why? Do you know what? Van der Ven there
It really annoys me. Van de Ven's complaining to the... He's going to disallow this goal. He's disallowed it, right?
Yeah.
No goal. Van de Ven's moaning. I've got no sympathy with Van de Ven. Why he gets hold of his shirt. Why do it in the first place? What's the point? It just gives the referee a decision to make if the ball goes in the back of the net.
I think that's anti-football. I would
What's
love...
that?
People are holding their shirts.
You are like, when we watch that goal in real time, we all said goal. And then in football these days, you are trying to find any reason to disallow a goal. Sure. It's nonsense, man.
Kwaku. Your theory and your opinion there in general about goal, I do agree with that in general. But Van de Ven there pulls down the centre-back.
So if the referee hadn't have looked at that, would anybody be complaining that the goal was given?
I think the Bodo Glimt players would have been, yeah.
I didn't see anyone appealing.
No one would have been
I just think it's so wrong in a game, in a sport where goals are so valuable and so rare. You're looking for any reason to disallow a goal.
Also, a tug of a shirt is not going to make you go down, is it? Let's be real.
It's just nonsense. I think it's nonsense.
But one thing I would say, I think if he doesn't get pulled down, I think the Bodo Glimt players got a half-decent opportunity.
Also, there are other times
heading it away,
where the penalties haven't been given because they go, oh, it's just one arm. It's not like there was...
Osterman's in for Galatasaray. Alisson makes a good save.
Like, I think forward players are scared of Alisson. When he's bearing down on you and he's just coming closing the angle, players just seem to lose their head every single time. He either makes a great save or it's a shot straight at him.
I agree with that. Can I just go back to the disallowed goal?
Go on.
So essentially, what you're saying in terms of your argument of we want to see goals scored, are you then saying that when balls get whipped in like that, it should be allowed for players to pull down other players to give? Is that your argument, Kwaku?
I'm just saying, in the world before VAR, that's a goal.
Yeah, but in the world before VAR, lots of goals would have been scored that shouldn't have been goals.
In the world before VAR, are we arguing that was better or worse? It was better, right? You saw more goals. I think inherently...
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just simply looking at this situation in isolation. And Van de Ven, the centre-half, who would have had a good chance of heading it away. Van de Ven... One thing I would say, can I ask you this question? What is Van de Ven doing in the first place?
I agree with that.
That here is the thing that annoys me the most because, you know, I just don't think there's any point even doing it in the first place because the ball goes in the back of the net. Oh, no. Oh, this is not good news in the Liverpool game because Alisson's gone down. I saw him waving when he made the save and Alisson is going to go off. Mamardashvili is going to go on, and it's one of those when it's not a contact injury, you almost fear the worst, don't you?
Yeah, I don't quite know what's happened there. It's just the way he died.
He must have pulled something when he went down.
It was a fairly straightforward save because, as you said, you know, it didn't look like Osherman set himself or really looked to arc that one.
It was a poor finish, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
It was a simple save in the end for Alisson.
The only injury-prone keeper, I think Alisson is one of the best keepers we have ever seen. But
is he the best goalkeeper in Premier League history?
No.
He's in the conversation.
He's in the conversation, but he's not.
Who's the best?
Petr Cech. Alisson, you know I'm
back up.
You know I'm fair with this, right?
No, I know.
I say Van Dijk is a great centre back. I think Alisson is amazing. But he gets injured a lot for a goalkeeper.
No, he does. Keller's had to play quite a lot in the last couple of years. Pedro Neto does really well there down the right-hand side. Xavi Simons is on for Spurs.
Off.
Bergvall and Johnson are off, Jess. And Xavi's got to be Kudus, the other player.
Bergvall and Johnson are off.
Yeah, Kudus.
What is going on here? Okay. I'm okay with the subs on, but the subs off are not incredibly inspiring.
Bergvall should be your most kind of creative player. Liverpool are 5 and 6. This is ridiculous. This is such an open game.
Right, Kairat defended at times, honestly. I mean, he's a great defender at times, and then on other occasions, I don't know how he decides to attack things. He's in the box. He's lying down like he's on a lounge.
He's the character, isn't he?
Takes a leg out.
Do you want something that makes you laugh? Producer Jamie, by the way, who's bubbling on nicely this evening, has asked me to ask you, is Liverpool season unravelling in front of our eyes? I mean, have you ever heard anything as nonsensical as that before?
I'll tell you what, he's on the wind up tonight, mate. He's been texting me non-stop, asking me a variety of questions.
Really?
Well, he's of the notion that Liverpool are going to collapse at any point. We've not played well. We've been found out.
Well, luckily for you, you've got Chelsea on the weekend, so that's guaranteed.
Well, Chelsea
we've been there in 5 years, have we? We haven't won at Stamford Bridge in 5 years.
So we won last year, but you were on the beach.
It's not straightforward. That's not a straightforward. game. And look, I mean, not rising to his bait. In the context of this, I mean, Alisson is a big blow. I don't know how long he will be out for, if he is out for a sustained period of time. I'm happy that Mamardashvili settled so well. I think he was great against Southampton. He didn't put a foot wrong, and that's, you know, more in the sense of how he commands his box, and he
comes with a big reputation, right?
He comes with a big reputation, yeah. And I was always interested, you know, prior to that, when we've seen Alisson play so well and him deal with those chances with ease, like Osherman threw on goal, and there was a chance that Galatasary had as well, threw on goal in the first sort of 4 or 5 minutes. You do wonder what, you know, Mamardashvili must be sitting there and thinking, how do I get into this side?
Well, he doesn't,
even over the next couple of years, how do I get into this side?
He only gets into the side when Alisson leaves, right?
Injured,
you know, or injured, sure.
So, you know, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see how he does do over the next couple of weeks, if he is indeed in the in between the sticks.
Is this Alisson's last season at Liverpool?
He's out of contract, isn't he, at the end of the season? Is that right? I thought that Mamardashvili kind of coming in was almost kind of long-term planning, that maybe possibly there's been a conversation that, you know, Alisson is coming towards the end and Liverpool kind of made sure they've got that kind of option ready to come in and be number one whenever, you know, Alisson does move.
I mean, let's have it right though. In terms of goalkeeping talents, if you look at like United and the problems that they've had, we've had a conversation about Chelsea already today about that being a problem area. You know, we should be thankful that we've got that nailed down now for the next 4 or 5 years. In my view, you know, I think he's a top talent, Mamardashvili. You know, that's one of those positions that I think gets overlooked. And if you've got a top keeper, it's very easy to take your eye off the ball and think, well, we don't need, you know, a significant backup because when's he going to play? I think that's a savvy move from Liverpool, that, and it'll pay out. But we're not unravelling by any stretch, and there's still plenty of time to go into this game, Jay. There's half an hour, son. So keep watching.
Yeah. It might be unravelling. We'll see.
Unravelling. Top of the Premier League?
Yeah, no, they are. Congratulations.
I'd hate to see what unravelling actually was.
I was going to say.
Long way to fall.
Can you yeah, very good point. Can you unravel, though?
I've got to be in my bonnet, actually. Can I bring it up?
Go on, bring it up.
Is it football related or is it just life related?
Is it football related? So Jamie Carragher's got to be in his bonnet. About the Chelsea rebuild post Abramovich.
Can you elaborate on what on what you think you
not only Jamie Carragher and Sky Sports, he also writes for the Telegraph, and a year ago, he quite boldly stated on Monday Night Football, Chelsea should stop signing players and players should stop signing for Chelsea. And he went on to predict that Chelsea finished 8th last season, obviously finished 4th. He diminished the Chelsea winning the Club World Cup. He's basically saying that Chelsea are hiding behind clever transfers and not operating like a big club that are trying to win major trophies. That's essentially the essence of what he's saying.
But you almost said the same thing in terms of
I appreciate that. Right? I appreciate that. But then he played for a club that went 30 years without winning the league title. So when we talk about rebuilds, Man United are 12 years into that rebuild. Arsenal have won the league title for 21 years. Chelsea are 3 years into it, and within the 3 years have won major trophies. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So when you're talking about rebuilds of major clubs, this is happening quicker than we've ever seen it before. Like I say, Arsenal have never won the Champions League, and their last league title was in 2004. Liverpool went 30 years. Man United, since Fergie, have been an absolute disaster. So we've seen big teams have a major shift, whether it's a manager or an owner moving on, it takes a long time. Chelsea's has been instantaneous. One season finishing 12th, then it was 6th, then it was 4th. So I don't really understand what he wants to see and how quickly he wants to see it. Do you want Chelsea to be on Liverpool's level right now? Because I think that'd be unrealistic. How long did it take Klopp to get Liverpool to Man City's level? The same amount of time? 2 or 3 years, yeah. For 3 or 4. All right. Let's settle on 3. Like he joined in 2015 and he won the league title in 2020 and you won the Champions League in 2019. Yeah. So it takes time, right? But the way that he's talking about Chelsea as if that we're never going to return to former glories, as if it doesn't take time to get there. I just feel like some of the criticism has been pretty personal as opposed to being. I just wonder if
it's his observations of what is quite a radical approach from Chelsea. You know, we've just spoken about the limitations of the 9-year contract. Yeah. You know, and as soon as you set yourself off on that path, as you said.
What a finish!
Goal! What
a finish!
talkSPORT debut, you watch your team get smashed by Bodo Glimt 2-0 in the Champions League. Welcome to talkSPORT.
And Quaker. Days, I literally saw that coming. I can't watch it.
I tell you what as well, it's a wonderful, wonderful finish, isn't it? from the left-hand side, cutting in, right foot finish across the goalkeeper. Bodo Glimt leading by 2-0.
Of course it is when you're not playing against anyone. It's like they're all anonymous on the pitch. What is going on? Look, watch this. Literally just has a go. Just like,
Oh, it's a lovely finish. He goes on the outside. Then his left foot, Horger, left-footed strike, beats Vicario. It's a wonderful finish, isn't it, Quake? The way he shifts it onto his left foot.
Go on.
Who was that? Isak and Salah on for Liverpool, by the way, and that was a scuff finish. But Jess, the second half performance from Spurs simply not good enough?
Yeah. I just feel like the team talk wasn't enough. I feel like they've not shown up at all. I think the changes are crazy, and I just think that I love Van de Ven. I think he's a great player. I think him and Romero side by side are unstoppable, but I just think right now it's kind of falling apart a little bit. Was it unravelling that you guys were talking about earlier?
Oh, but Richarlison's in here, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Richarlison,
No chance.
you know what? That moment there just summed up Richarlison. He got played through. Okay, it's sort of towards the right-hand side. But a good striker there takes a good first touch, sets it out in front of him, and gets the shot away. You're right, Quaker. You just knew when he got played through, he wasn't even he wasn't going to get the shot away, let alone score. I honestly, I can't believe Spurs signed him in the first place, and I can't believe that 3 years down the line he's still at Spurs.
Yeah,
he's just not a natural finisher.
No, it's not.
He always looks clumsy. He takes it. You knew he wasn't going to get that shot away in time. So he's a poor centre forward. I'm sorry.
Liverpool are living on the edge, by the way, because it looks like one ball and Galatasaray are through.
Isak and Salah are on, by the way. So is too Conor Bradley.
I would ask you guys the question about it. It feels more. Rock and roll so cliche, but it feels more up and down than
more heavy metal.
Yeah, more heavy metal than the Klopp's team.
Spurs do score. Yes. Again, it comes from a set piece. Pedro Porro's delivery, by the way, on that, he's put in a couple of unbelievable balls. It's another fantastic cross from a free kick from the right-hand side. And it was Mickey van der Ven. Powerful header. I think he's going to be onside. And he heads home past the goalkeeper. So Jess,
maybe he heard me saying that wasn't good enough.
Yeah, you're still alive and kicking. Great ball in and a good header.
But how is it that it's Van de Ven and Porro who are turning up the other end of the pitch when they're meant to be our defenders right now? It just feels like a bit of a mess. Like they're just reacting.
We've seen in the second half, you've been at your best from set pieces. I mean, the disallowed goal came from the set piece. That came from a set piece. And I guess when you got a player who can whip it in with real pace, like Pedro Porro, you're gonna have chances. So I mean, Jess, this could finish. Chance of I'll tell you what. No, Liverpool were going to just clear. I thought Osman on the outside of the box was going to be able to get a shot away. But in the end, he couldn't sort his feet, and Liverpool are going to manage to clear. Jess, this Spurs game could finish 4-2 Spurs or 5-1 Bodo Glimt. This feels an open game.
Well, this is the thing. We want goals in football, don't we? So as long as we get it back and this is the start of something new, and there's still time, anything could happen. I'm just hoping that Van de Ven gets another one, then we can forgive him for everything. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is here because it's been a bit haphazard.
So as we approach then the final 20 minutes in our Champions League game, lots and lots of goals going in. Here's where we stand. Atletico Madrid are 4-1 up at home to Eintracht Frankfurt. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 1. Chelsea still leading Benfica by a goal to nil. Inter Milan are now 3-0 up at home to Slavia Prague, looking to go back-to-back victories this season. Last year's finalists, Lautaro Martinez has got a brace. Liverpool still trailing by a goal to nil away to Galatasaray. Alisson gone off injured is a big concern. Marseille 4 up at home to Ajax. The fourth goal scored by Aubameyang, and Bayern Munich are 5-1 up away at Paphos. Michael Elise with the fifth goal for Bayern Munich. Fair play, by the way, to Sheffield Wednesday. We've highlighted on the show quite a few times the off-field problems. They're now 2-1 up away at Birmingham. They would be unbeaten in 3, having won 2 of their last 3. We know they've had lots and lots of financial problems, ownership problems. They're 2-1 up away at Birmingham. Need 7:45 kickoffs, so only a few minutes to go in this game. In these games, Swansea have turned it around away at Blackburn. They were 1 down. They're 2-1 up. It's still 1-1 between Bristol City and Ipswich. Preston were 2 up away at Hull. Body McBurney scored 2 goals for Hull. Hull 2, Preston 2. Wrexham have equalised away at Leicester. Nathan Broadhead scoring after 77 minutes. Leicester 1, Wrexham 1. First v third, the big game at the top of the table this evening in the Championship is still goalless. Borough 0, Stoke 0. It'll be a massive 3 points for Will Steele and Southampton if they can see out the fun a few minutes. Away at Sheffield United, they were 1 down, then 2-1 up at Bramall Lane. Stewart with a brace. 2 goals in 7 minutes. Sheffield United 1, Southampton 2. Charlton leading 1-0 away at Derby. In League 1, Blackpool 2, Luton 1. Cardiff losing at home to Burton by a goal to 0. Again, those Championship games have only got 5 or so minutes to go. I know it's very, very early on in the Championship, but as things stand, Charlton are third in the table, having won promotion last season. Ryan, what's the latest in the game between Galatasaray and Liverpool?
Quite worrying in the sense that there's a stoppage here. Ekitiké's been down for, I'd say, about 2-3 minutes now, and it comes from Soboslai's ball across the field, and it was slightly behind him, so he's gone to stretch for it, and as he's stretched for it, he's done himself some damage, and McAllister's coming on for him, which is, it's not ideal using Alisson and Ekitike in one fell swoop tonight, but and that's how it goes.
Yeah, so McAllister's going to come on. And yeah, again, the Alisson one is the one that worries me because he just made a simple save down to his left and then kind of immediately signalled to come off, which is slightly concerning. So yeah, McAllister on for Ekitike. Quick, has anything happened in the second half of time? I've heard you made a grunt or a noise.
No,
has Jose done anything, Jose, yet?
No, they've made the substitutions, been enforced. Antonio Silva went down with an injury. A cross came in for Chelsea and the keeper took the defender out. But yeah, it's been nothing really in the second half. I think Jose's plan would have been to hopefully take the lead for a set piece and just sit back and defend. Now they have to chase the game. That's not really within his wheelhouse at this stage of his career and the team that he's got at his disposal. And Chelsea have kind of managed the second half like I'd like them to do. A second goal would make it a lot more comfortable. But yeah, it's so far so good from Chelsea. Just want to see this one through. It's important to get on the board in the Champions League, especially after losing the first game.
And another chance of Bodo Glimt. It's a shot though from the other side of the box which just goes wide. So the 3 English sides have all got work to do in their own respects. Chelsea trying to see out the victory, 1-0 home to Benfica. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 1, Galatasaray 1, Liverpool 0. And yeah, Liverpool making some changes. Salah's on, Isak's on, McAllister's come on. How are you feeling, Ryan? It's just been an open game, hasn't it?
Yeah. I still think there's plenty of chances left in it. Don't get me wrong. And we just seen some neat link-up play between Vert and Isak a moment ago, and I'd like to see that partnership and relationship develop. I do think Ekitike is a big miss, depending on how long that is for. I'm hoping it's just he's just taking no risks and he gets him off because he just provides a different spark. I just think he's up to speed quickest. But Isak's had a bit of rest today, and I don't imagine if that is an injury for a sustained period of time or just for a couple of weeks or a week or so, then it'll be him starting at the Bridge on Saturday.
Yeah, decent options to have though, isn't it? So it's 20 minutes to go then in that game. Dominic Szoboszlai with possession for Liverpool comes in. I wonder how Salah feels not starting this Champions League game, but he's on. He's got 20 minutes to go. This is the third Liverpool kit, by the way? Like a
gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, I quite like it.
Yeah, it's a sexy layout. If it wasn't a Liverpool badge, Quake would be winning.
Oh, big chance there for Liverpool. A cross came in from the left-hand side, and it's Conor Bradley who got in front of his man, but his header was just didn't really fill you with conviction.
Who's a cross by though? Florian Wirtz.
Was it Florian Wirtz? Yeah, we're just starting to see him make a bit more of an impact on the game, Ryan, in the last few minutes.
Yeah, he's got great quality. It does take him time to warm up into games, but in the last 10-15 minutes, he's starting to stroke the ball around a little bit more. He's up to this. I think he's got an idea of the pace of the game, and he's setting the rhythm for Liverpool at times. In their forward passing and the general attacking play. So I'm hoping that he's going to have a big 20, to be honest with you. And we needed to. And I also think for his confidence, his confidence
just needs one goal, doesn't it?
A little bit rocked over the last couple of games by, just performances that would just naturally frustrate. And he must be thinking, I'm doing all the right things. I'm not rushing anything. I'm not snatching at anything. And yet still not quite working out for me. But just needs to keep himself on that lane. And if he does, I've got no concerns, mate.
Yeah. He's too good of a player, isn't he, for it not to work out. He just needs to find that.
I think you'll see the best of him initially in the Champions League, or what you were saying before. You get
got a bit more time on the ball. Yeah, not as intense as the Premier League.
A bit more space. That's where he's lethal, isn't he? That creativity. And also, I think Liverpool last year, they relied a lot on Trent for that creativity. They had a partnership with Trent and Salah that was well established over a number of years, and so when things weren't going well, that was your plan B. It obviously formed part of plan A as well. But when things weren't going well, there's things that you call upon that you think, well, that's going to get us a goal, or that's going to push us closer to one at least. And we're still just establishing that, I think. And when you got new players, you don't quite, we haven't quite got that well. Trodden path to goal, and they say, that signature move, if you like, that trademark move.
Yeah.
But there's enough quality in there, as we've seen in the first 5-6 games, where they can still have a massive impact towards the twilight. There's been 14 goals scored after 76 minutes in the Liverpool games this year. Liverpool have scored 8 of them.
14?
Yeah.
It's even quite a few conceded, isn't it, really?
Yeah, that's the point. So, stay tuned.
But yeah, so...
That's a crazy stat.
I know, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we know there's going to be excitement in that Liverpool game. Osimhen's come off for Galatasaray.
He was a handful, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was absolute handful. Like, the proper centre-forward performance, I know he got the goal from the penalty spot, but even without that, he was just hassling the defenders, making runs in behind, using his physicality.
Yeah.
Housery as well, going down and frustrating Liverpool. It was a proper centre-forward's performance, but I think
we're seeing the return of the kind of the old school number 9 army at times, right?
It's good to see. It's good to see. I'm well on board with it. Like, you look at someone like Mateta, who Liverpool played against on the weekend, absolute handful. And
also, someone like Mateta can play there. Like, I feel like there's also a thing where they're not just target men.
Yeah,
they can also. Mateta can play, can't he?
Yeah. He's a great striker. I was impressed with him against Liverpool, and he had that shot from outside the box where, it hit the post.
Hit the bar, didn't it?
Fascinating what Slot was saying as well about how he sees the game changing, and he feels that more and more set pieces and long balls and direct play is becoming, it's coming right back into the game again. And he cited a few examples, the Brentford against United one, they did against Chelsea as well, didn't they, when he equalised? Like, there's Liverpool were lost to Palace via one, so it's interesting that, and I just wonder whether or not you're going to start to see, more teams playing on it, or bringing in those set-piece coaches again, or their specialist sort of throwing coaches. Liverpool had a guy called Thomas Gronemark, I think his name was, and he was a throwing coach for a while. I don't think he's still there anymore, but I'd be interested to see if they sort of call upon his services.
A late goal for Sheffield United at home to Southampton. Sheffield United scoring in the very, very last minute. Peck, the goal scorer, killer blow that for Will Steele and Southampton. He's just broken the corner flag, by the way, with his celebration. That's a Jamie Vardy-esque, isn't it?
That's a booking as well.
Yeah, there we go. By the way, Kieran Drisby Hall got a 5th yellow card last night for a tackle which was never even a foul, let alone a yellow card. Do you just think not that it's maybe the right time to start changing rules in football, but is that just a nonsense rule? 5 yellow cards and you miss a game of football?
5 yellow cards already.
Just feels harsh, doesn't it?
5 yellow cards already is a lot of yellow cards. That's too much.
Yeah, but it's part. You can get. I just don't understand why. When you get 9, you miss 2 games. It's crazy.
But it should be a deterrent, right? Otherwise, people are just going to pick up bookings towards back in the game just to slow things down. Everyone's going to get booking.
Slowing things down.
Huh?
So it's all about slowing things down.
What's your problem? What's your problem, Bromelo? What's your issue with me?
What's my problem? My team's losing 1-0. What your problem is?
Derby have equalised against Charlton. Matt Clark after 79 minutes. Full times coming in the Championship. We'll bring you those very, very shortly. But yeah, Liverpool then searching for this goal. Beaten against Crystal Palace on the weekend. Losing away at Galatasaray by a 1-0 this evening. We got 15 minutes to go in that game. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 1, Chelsea 1, Benfica 0. That's the 3 scores involving the English sides in the Champions League. Just feels like Liverpool. That should be a free kick, shouldn't it? Salah. I don't know. I was giving that as a free kick. Ball got played into Mo Salah. Got completely held from behind, and I think the referee's eventually the latest whistle of all time. He has eventually given a foul. Jess, are you confident? Can you sense a Spurs equaliser away at Bodo Glimt?
It feels a lot better, but I'm wondering if it's too little, too late. Like it feels like that we've been getting a bit of joy with Jed Spence down the left. We've now got another piece to go. I don't know. I'm wondering if they've just all of a sudden gelled a bit more. Xavi Simons is looking good today and linking up a lot better especially than he was on Saturday. But I I don't know. I'm wondering if it's, maybe too little too late, but it feels better now. Feels like we're actually playing now.
Yeah,
I
think Javi Simmons coming on just brought a little bit of calm to proceedings. It's good. Just saw Kevin Danzo long throw there, by the way.
Yeah.
Controversially, I think Bergvall's are a bit more dangerous, by the way.
Well,
Bergvall's got a bit more purchase
maybe he wasn't
on them.
aiming for as long as in the competition. Maybe Bergvall's pipped him to the post on that.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, we've got some changes as well.
Yeah, two more chats. Archie Gray coming on and Destiny Udogie, Spence and Bentancur are going to come off. What do you make of Archie Gray's development at Spurs? Because he had such a unique season last year as a young kid playing at centre-back with all the injuries. But do you think long-term he will be a big option for Spurs as a midfield player?
Yeah, I think so. I think you only realise how young he is when he's all suited up at those at the awards and stuff, and then you see him with his family and that, and you just think, oh wow, you're actually so young. But on the pitch, he's quite a tall lad, and
Got that baby face, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does. It's interesting, isn't it? Because to start on such a big stage being completely out of position, and then when you do see him in position, I don't know what we're all expecting, but I think he's still got some growing to do. I don't know. But I'm excited about him as a player. I think he's great.
Yeah, feels like he's going to be a really good option for Spurs, sort of much more long term. And I think Thomas Frank's probably a good coach to try and get the best out of him. Atletico Madrid they scored 5 against Real Madrid. They scored 5 this evening in the Champions League. 10 goals in 2 games for them. Atletico Madrid 5-1 up now. Home to Frankfurt. Julian Alvarez scoring the penalty, and Frankfurt in their first game they beat Galatasaray by 5-1, and now this evening they're losing by 5 goals to 1. Benfica with a shot. Got to be careful with Kwaku, because whilst Benfica haven't created too many clear-cut chances, as we know, as cliche as it sounds, 1-0 is a dangerous scoreline.
Very dangerous scoreline. Just need to ride this out. There's been a lot of Benfica pressure, kept the ball quite well. See this out. Well played. That's
Corner
our
kick.
ball. Goal kick. Well done.
Oh, they come back off, yeah.
Well done. Reece James with a fresh fade. It's good to see Reece James playing
Hey,
more.
it's the beard they all have now, isn't it? The beard that kind of comes down to there and they fade it up, right?
I'm trying my best, mate. I'm trying to replicate it. But they're just managing it, which I like to see. But I'm
Sorry, Karen.
it's gone. Oh, Liverpool.
Sorry, no, go on. No, the ball just came in just the Bosley there, and he had space and time in the box, but his first touch was poor, and it just ran away from him. There's it just feels like in the final third, it all just feels sometimes not very clinical. It feels like players are making the wrong move, taking the extra touch, taking the extra pass. We saw Wirtz, didn't we, taking extra touch when he could have got a shot away in the ball that came into Szoboszlai. It feels like players are not lacking confidence, but just lacking a little bit of conviction, perhaps.
I think they're lacking fluidity, mate. I really do. I just feel like you've got, at the moment, a few new faces settling in, both in quite critical positions for us in the sort of number 10 role, where we didn't really have a number 10 last year.
Oh, the bar! Sorry, Spurs have hit the bar and Bono claimed clear. Who was that? Was that a Richarlison header?
Unbelievable passing.
It came from Kudus on the right. He is so good.
Look at that.
That just on left foot, and he's got. I swear, 9 times out of 10, that ping on his left foot is in the right area. And is that Odegaard or is that Udogie off the bench at the back post? A diving header. Gets his head on it, Jess, and it comes off the bar.
Off the bar, of course. Come on, set piece.
Yeah, they do. They do clear. They get a corner. But Kudus is so good at that. Every time. It's like, you always knew what Iron Robin wanted to do, but you couldn't stop him. You know what Kudus wants to do on that right foot. Cut it on his left. Whip in. He does it there. And it's so unlucky. It comes off the bar. But Spurs do have a corner, which is going to be whipped in, I think, from Xavi Simmons. But it's poor. And they clear. Was that a chance for Chelsea, Quaker?
Yeah, it was. Pedro Neto did really well to beat his fullback. Got to the byline. I think he tries a shot. And there was options in the box, and Benfica get it clear. But a second goal in this would kill it, absolutely kill it. But like you mentioned, with there just being one goal in it, it's tough. It's tough.
It's tough. It's tough work for. It feels like it's tough work for all English sides this evening. Chelsea, only English team winning, but yeah, not the most clinical of Chelsea performances. But 6 minutes to go, and it looks like they're going to see that. It's been probably a better 10 minutes for Liverpool. Oh goodness me! As I say that, was that Conor Bradley? It's just McAllister was literally
couldn't have timed that. You couldn't have timed that.
No, I know, but I think my point does still stand there, Ryan. Where it's a 10-minute spell. Liverpool have had good possession, and it looks like it's a Galatasaray team now who are maybe tiring a little bit and are just starting to retreat complete retreat.
Yeah, it's a measure of character now. What can they do? Again, they need to reach from within. They need to dig from within. And they're fully capable of it. They've shown it a couple of times this year. And to be honest with you, that's the first time we got a corner. No, it's a goal kick.
Well,
that's the first time. I genuinely thought that was going to be the first time we got a corner. The only one I remember was Kairate's one in the first half. But we haven't had a corner. I mean, that's the other thing as well of creating sustained pressures. That if you do have a few of those corners swung into the mix, something might fall your way, or Van Dijk's an opportunity for him to show leadership.
It's a big team, isn't it? Van Dijk, Kanate, Gravenberch, Isak. There's options there. Big, strong, physical lads.
Yes.
Okay, as we then approach the final 10 minutes or so in the Champions League, I'm going to bring you the full times then in the Championship. Shout if something happens. Birmingham City have scored an equaliser in the 99th minute against Sheffield Wednesday. Birmingham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Sheffield Wednesday came from a goal behind to lead by 2-1. Heartbreak for Sheffield Wednesday away from home. Birmingham are going to get a point. Sheffield Wednesday will remain unbeaten in 3, but so close to an important victory. That game is still ongoing. Birmingham 1, Swansea 2. Birmingham were leading by a goal to nil. Swansea turned it around, and Swansea, who had won just one of their last 4 games previously to that, winning 5 out of 7. Back to winning ways this evening. They go to Blackburn and win by 2-1. Bristol City are now on without a win in 3 matches. They were leading Ipswich by a goal to nil, but they were pegged back. Bristol City 1, Ipswich 1. So after losing to Oxford, drawing to Preston, drawing to Ipswich, Bristol City, who have made a good start to the season, drawing at home this evening. And Preston, another team who made a good start to the season, made a good start this evening away at Hull. They were 2 up. Ollie McBurney scored 2 goals in the second half. It finished Hull 2, Preston 2, Leicester 1, Wrexham 1.
Hit the crossbar.
What happened, Kwaku?
Oh, so it all comes from a Spurs corner. Bodo Glimt's break, it's a huge switch. You think the Spurs get enough defenders back to snuff out the danger. Bodo Glimt recycled it quite well in midfield. The ball comes into the box, and the Bodo Glimt striker midfielder hits it first time, and it just skims the top of the crossbar. But a great chance there for Bodo Glimt on the break. And this is where the game is dangerous to Spurs, because they're chasing it, committing men forward, especially we get a lot of corners in this game. But Bodo Glimt have showed earlier on in this game that they're a threat on the counter-attack. If they'd been a bit more clinical, they could have been out of sight and out of mind.
I'd probably say that they should be out of sight, out of mind anyway. They missed a penalty, missed a couple of really good chances early in the second half. I mean, if Spurs were to claw a draw like they did against Wolves on Saturday, I think it'd be against the run of play. One more full-time, by the way, massive win for Southampton, going to Sheffield United and winning by 2-1. Will Steele just picking up his second victory for Southampton. A bit of pressure started to come on him. Sheffield United 1, Southampton 2, Derby 1, Charlton 1. Is the latest score, and Spurs do equalise away at Bodo Glimt. Oh, goodness me. This feels lucky, Jess. A little bit fortunate. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 2. Right after Bodo Glimt missed that chance, Spurs equalise. Archie Gray gets played in down the right-hand side. It looks like it's almost a cross shot, which the goalkeeper just kicks, and it bounces straight off Richarlison. Or was it even off the Bodo Glimt defender? Whoever it is, Spurs won't care. He kicked it off. They were literally a yard or two away. It bounces straight off him. The goalkeeper with the assist there. Spurs won't care who it came off, Lars. Spurs equalise, and Jess, it looks like you could remain unbeaten in the Champions League.
Business. Let's go.
You going to push for a winner?
Could you? Well, they could even win it. There could be a few minutes of added time.
Oh my God, they have to. They literally have to keep pushing.
It does go down as an own goal, by the way. A Gunderson own goal. Archie Gray made a really, really good late run. He was found. The goalkeeper do better there, just throwing a right foot out with it.
What can he do, though?
Get down and catch it.
Goal check again.
Now they're checking
No
again
way.
for a goal check. Anyone
Why?
know? Anyone know what this one's for? Who do you support? Are you an Arsenal fan or Spurs fan? You're an Arsenal. I wondered. Okay. No, I thought you celebrated when Bodo Glimt scored. There's a goal check here.
What are we checking?
Are they checking for an offside on Richarlison when
Surely
Gray?
not.
Oh, he's definitely onside, isn't he?
We're trying to find reasons to just
Exactly. What are we?
The TV cameras paused it
analysing
when
here?
Gray shot, almost if Richarlison was offside, but he looked way onside to me.
Also, if he's going, what is it? What are they checking for?
Well, I think that's what we're trying to work out as a
Oh.
team, isn't it? No one at the moment. No one's come up with an idea yet. I thought that the camera there stopped it on the moment that Archie Gray shot, and it's almost checking if Richarlison was offside. I think Richarlison was clearly onside there. Apparently it's gone down as an own goal.
As an own goal, then
I'm not
how
sure there's a
can he have
handball
been
involved. There was clearly no handball. Normally it says what they're checking for. Have you got any ideas, Kwaku?
No, Mate,
Jess, have you got any ideas?
I'm done with
I think it's, yeah, I feel like I'm in the same.
You guys?
I literally no idea.
All right. Well, we'll just sit here and wait, and hopefully we'll see a replay sooner rather than later and work out why this game has just stopped here. Richarlison was definitely onside. It's gone down on our scorecards as an own goal, so therefore it couldn't have been a possible handball on Richarlison. And our TV cameras here aren't helping us out here because okay, apparently they might be checking a handball on Richarlison. Does it come off Richarlison's hand when the goalkeeper
Is this a more enjoyable product?
kicks it off him? No,
This is
this is nonsense. This is nonsense because we're all waiting. It's taking way too long. We don't know what they're appealing for here. What our replays are showing here, as Archie Gray shoots, they're pausing it. But Richarlison clearly looks onside, doesn't he?
Is it? Are they saying it's his handball?
Oh, is it? Producer Jamie saying his arm's offside. For me, there, that angle there looks onside to me anyway. Richarlison looks behind the Bodo Glimt defender. Can someone please save me here? Because we're not.
Honestly, this is just nonsense. Shoot.
Chance from McAllister to Van Dijk. Canate. Oh, is he going to fall? Verts. No, they clear. I do have to say, in this Bodo Glimt Spurs game, this is a disgrace. Well, this has gone on. This has gone on for too long. Yeah. We haven't got commentary. So are they now checking for a handball? Does the keeper kick? It comes onto Bodo Glimt. And there's a penalty in the Galatasaray Liverpool game. Check over, by the way, in the Bodo Glimt Spurs game.
It's got to be a goal.
And he's given the goal. So the referee's now saying we've got 7 minutes to play. Ryan, penalty. What happened?
So that's why I'm keeping an eye on this, you see. McAllister has the ball, edge of the area, whips it in towards Jones, nods it down to Canate, and then there's a collision in the middle of the box between Canate and the Galatasaray player. He just sort of sticks a leg at it. I mean, it's soft, isn't it? I would say that's soft. I think that's soft.
I have to say, that's not a penalty. The Galatasaray player gets the ball first, and then Canate boots him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't do these.
I agree. I think that's the Galatasaray.
But I'll take it.
Canate handballs, maybe.
Honest serious note.
They're checking it out.
I think the Galatasaray player gets his foot to the ball first, and then Canate kicks through him. I think that's not a penalty.
Maybe he's leveling it up because the first one wasn't a penalty.
And the referee's going over. And I have to say, this, Ryan, we disagreed on the penalty, but we're both in agreement here that this is, if anything, a foul on the Galatasaray player.
Yeah, I don't think it's a pen.
No, okay.
You know, I'm not gonna contest that. The camera, I'd have to say the cameraman's had an absolute shocker today. Is he on work experience or something? What's going on? The amount of shots he keeps showing, one of them's lying down.
By the way, we've got the best work experience, don't we, this week here, by the way, on talkSPORT Goals, by the way. Round of unbelievable stuff here, by the way. Great stuff. So I think this should be quite quick for it to be ruled. Yeah, the referee is saying no penalty. Kristen, Jess, was there a big chance there for Bodo Glimt?
Yep, there was, and it went past the post again. Vicario didn't have to do anything for that one. I feel like if Bodo's all their shots have been on target, I actually think they would have gone past Vicario, and I'm sad to say that.
Yeah.
By the way, can I say, you talk about why we have VAR in football in the first place. The referee who gave that penalty in the Galatasaray Liverpool game is literally on top of the players and still gives the penalty. So, we all can moan about the but imagine that there was no VAR. That would have gone down as a penalty, and that could have cost Galatasaray 3 points, and it would have been the most nonsensical. That's not a word, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ooh, nonsensical. I'm going to write that down on the old.
That's your Scrabble.
Yeah. But do you know what I mean, Kwaku? So that's why VAR is, and that was dealt with quickly, wasn't it? It was done in about 90 seconds, and that was VAR used properly and wisely, because that would have been, from a Galatasaray point of view, brutal if that was.
Yeah, it was, but I hate.
No, I take your point, by the way. So, lots going on there. How much out of time we got on the Galatasaray Liverpool game, by the way?
Yet to be displayed.
Okay, good stuff. Bad question for me then. Oh, here we go. Are we going to find out sooner rather than later? Probably. But by the way, 8 minutes time added on. Sportsbar might be late. This Bodo Glimt Spurs game is absolute chaos. End-to-end football. Yeah. And by the way, when I watched the Europa League game, I remember I covered that game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Bodo Glimt, I thought, I couldn't work out how they got to semi-finals. But in this game here, they've been really, really impressive. It's only from an offensive point of view. I tell you what, Jess, you get away with the point here.
Thing is,
honestly, lucky Spurs, isn't it?
The Bodo's team has just been structured, and then their turnovers have been great. It's just their shots on target haven't quite made it. But Oh, yeah, we've been lucky here.
Yeah, the Bodo Glimt missed a couple of really, really good opportunities throughout the second half. They missed that penalty, didn't they, in the first half? But with 90 seconds to go, here he comes. Here comes Kevin Danzo.
Come on.
Some insight from Jess at the top of the show. He won the long throwing competition at the start. Maybe it's all been building up to this moment. This moment here in the 96th minute in Bodo Glimt.
Oh,
this could be the winner.
Card? No, I thought someone was getting a red card.
Yeah. Oh, it is a red card.
Another red card in the Chelsea game.
João Pedro.
João Pedro sent off. I mean, it's like clockwork, right? I didn't even see what happened there, but another Chelsea player red carded. There we go.
Is that just for Champions League or does it carry through?
No, that's just the Champions League.
Let's have a look. High foot.
What's he doing?
He kicks someone in the head.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, to be fair, he goes to, he pulls away. That was the second yellow card, by the way, not a straight red card. It's a high boo, isn't it? It's reckless, it's silly.
What I don't understand is that... I can't bother to go into it.
Well, no, go into it. You're here to talk about the situation, so please do.
So, in what game did we see...
I can't even see my opinion.
No, in what game did we see the overhead kick? What game was that we saw earlier?
Go on, corner.
Today?
Yeah, today. We saw an overhead kick by someone.
Corner.
They all screamed.
Come on.
Was it in the Spurs game? I don't know, whatever game it is. That's a high foot, right?
It's been a long night, hasn't
It's
it?
been a long night. But when it's an overhead kick, never a high foot. But when it's a high foot like that and he doesn't even touch the man,
I see what you mean.
It's just so inconsistent. But yeah, another red card for Chelsea.
So Chelsea are down to 10 men. It won't cost them in this game, but it will cost them in their next game. Liverpool have got a corner in the 93rd minute. By the way, they are now finally in that Bodo Glimt Spurs game showing us what the long VAR check was. It was for offside. He was offside. McAllister! I think that was one of those that might have been much more wider than my initial shout suggested, but it felt like it came off his foot quite sweetly.
You've got to go for the moment, mate.
Sorry?
You've got to go for the moment.
I'm living in the moment here, aren't I, on tour? That's what we do, Jess, on tour. It's like when you're DJing in a nightclub, you're like, unce, giving it the big one.
Yeah,
you're living in...
that's me singing along to the tunes that I'm playing.
Ed Sheeran, right? You know, that's what it's all about here. Really, what we should have done, you should have put together a little set for us this evening to play out, like a little 1 minute remix to see us out at the end of the show.
Look, I wanted...
If you come back, we'll maybe work on that.
We need to get the decks in the middle, right? Yeah.
Well, you've seen how we do production on this show, people crawling across the floor. I'm not sure that's possible. We got 5 minutes then to go in the Galatasaray Liverpool game. Galatasaray coming forward here, and Bodo Glimt possibly one more chance to get the ball in the box. Can they get the ball in the box? They played the 7 minutes of time added on in the Bodo Glimt Spurs game. Chelsea beat Benfica by a goal to nil. Maresca, Mourinho. I wonder if Jose is going to do a little walk around and clap the Chelsea fans.
No, I think he's going straight down the tunnel.
Is he going straight down the tunnel? That's a bit well. I guess his team just lost, haven't they? Yeah, straight down the tunnel. It's been quite an un-Jose Mourinho kind of 24 hours. He hasn't said anything outlandish. He's been quite...
He gave us a little bit in towards the back end of that game, round on the pitch to give the ball back to his team. But
I want him more than that.
It's a shadow.
Is he getting older? Is he sort of mellowing a little bit?
Teeing himself up for a return. Hitting himself in that.
Oh, you reckon? You think he's waiting for Maresca to be sacked till he gets that phone call? Galatasaray have got the ball inside Liverpool's half in the corner flag. By the way, something else has gone out of the game. People taking the ball into the corner.
Oh, that would have been sweet.
There was a shot from 25 yards out. Galatasaray to right. Spurs might have one more chance here. Can Kudus cross? Right-hand side. Whips it in.
Great ball.
Please.
Oh, that's handball.
Who was that at the back post? Was that Palhinha who's on? I think he should have done better with his header there.
Yeah.
He was unmarked at the back, but to be fair, I think he tried to go back across goal. Kudus on the right-hand side.
One more go.
He tried to be too clever there. I think he should have tried to whip and cross. And we can't be far. In fact, we can because
surely that's got to be it.
Yeah, they took a couple of minutes for that VAR check, but we played the extra 2 minutes, and I think that is going to be full time. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 2. Jess, what are your thoughts on that performance? It's been a crazy game.
That was another point steal, wasn't it? First half anonymous. Second half finally got into it, like I said, after the goals. I don't know what to say about that, really. Not something to be proud of.
No, it wasn't a great performance, was it?
I mean, unbeaten in the Champions League, so can we take that?
Well, yeah, you can. I mean, you're dealing in facts there. Beat Villarreal, wasn't it, first game? And then there was... that draw this evening. Yeah, it was a chaotic game of football, an end-to-end game of football. For the next 2.5 minutes, though, we'll turn our attention to Galatasaray 1, Liverpool 0. Chelsea beat Benfica by a goal to nil. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 2. More full times to come in the Champions League. But Ryan, Liverpool have got 2 minutes and 15 seconds to try and find an equaliser.
Yeah. We can measure the character now and to see if they've just got something within them.
I'm trying to think. You've been watching it more closely, more intently than me. I'm trying to think of what Liverpool's best chance has been in the second.
Well, earlier we were talking as well, Ryan, you were saying it was like, we've gone 1-0 down, but there are good passages of play and you only need one good passage of play to get it back into the game. Spurs pretty much were anonymous in the first half of the game and just about scraped a draw in the second half. What would you prefer?
What, between these two games?
Yeah, because right now you're fighting for a draw, but aren't getting there.
I don't know with this performance how I feel, really. I'm still trying to work out how I feel. I can still give these lads a little bit of slack because I still think there's an element of fluidity that they're trying to work out. They're still getting used to each other as a team. I think in the two parts of their attacking play, so your forward and your attacking centre mids are both different, both trying to acclimatise. So to be honest with you,